afternoon and welcome, Neville.
How are you going, guys?
Very good. You must be happy with the start at this stage. Clubs have had a pretty good pre-season. All the government protocols and VFL, AFL protocols have been fulfilled. We're just waiting to get going.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a few humps on the road, but a few players have come down with COVID, but I'm sure that we'll have a full season, and we've got protocols in place, as you said, and we'll be able to get a full year in.
Yeah, society's probably self-educated very well, haven't they, Neville? Everyone knows what to do and why they're doing it, and when things happen they fall into line pretty quickly, and that much make it easier for clubs to function.
Yeah, I think our clubs have accepted it very well, and as I said, the protocols are in place, and they all go along with what the government want.
And the season, it's shaping up again to be a good one for the competition. We've talked regularly last year about things evening up in the football and netball sections, and from what we can gather pre-season, without having the full information, we'd probably need 5 rounds. But again, some of those clubs in the middle and bottom of the competition are looking like they're better, and again the ones at the top might be the same, but I think the competition at the top end is going to be pretty hot again.
Yeah, I think it's very hard for the bottom sides to pick up that gap between the top sides, because the top sides do recruit very well, and so there's still a fair gap between top and bottom. That's always going to be, because that's the nature of the game, but I just hope that our bottom clubs can be competitive and play a better standard of football.
One of the things we talked about on the radio this morning, which has been vital and it's become apparent the last couple of years, is the pressure on volunteers at clubs. I know that when we lost that full 2020 season, some people got out of the habit of going to the club and doing those little jobs that need to be done. What's the feedback from clubs in that area?
Yeah, well, there's a concern about volunteers being involved. As you said, some of them have found other things to do, and it's the same with players. Some of the clubs early felt that there wasn't enough numbers at training, but I think that's all sort of fixed itself up a bit now with people getting out and about. I think people are getting back involved in volunteering at club level. Most of our clubs seem to be fairly sound in that area. I went out to Corio the other night. They had a special night on out there, and the rooms were buzzing. And they were a bottom side last year, and the club itself is going very well.
So we again appeal to anyone who might be following a particular club. It doesn't matter where it is. Just go and ask if there's something you can do. It might be just a little 10 or 15 minute job that you can do somewhere during the week at a club that can make a huge difference. And we can assure you, I mean, everyone sitting here, and you, Neville, have done a lot of volunteering over the years. There's a lot to get out of it. It's a real buzz to do it. So we'd encourage people to get more connected to their clubs, be involved and be part of your push. Grubby, you were also at Corio Thursday night. You told me it was a really good evening, good buzz around the place.
It was a ripping night. It just shows me, look, over the years, you go to Corio and you're sort of looking sideways, you don't want to say anything wrong. It was a comfortable place to be. It was a fantastic place to be. Linda Bennett, Darren, Incy, they're just doing a magnificent job. But I have got a question for Neville out of that. I saw a bloke get in the kitchen for 2.5 hours and clean up and wash up, and that was Andy Barrett from the executive committee. Is that a concerted effort? I know you've done it since 1984. You've looked after our clubs. Is that just getting out and showing that they're behind all the clubs, or is just Andy being a good bloke?
Well, that's what we tried to break down, that barrier between a them and us attitude.
Yep.
And we allocate 3 clubs to each of our vice presidents, and they work with those clubs, and they go to their meetings, or they're invited to go to their meetings, and if the clubs have any issues, so you don't talk to the rest of the committee, you talk to the delegate or the president, and that's about as far as it goes. Alan Moore might talk to the secretaries and Darryl with the treasurers, but that's on a one-on-one basis. But when they go and sit in on a meeting, people off the general committee can ask a question: what's going on here? What does the league do there? And I think it just, as I said, it breaks down that barrier of them and us attitude. And yeah, I noticed, I agree with you, that Andy was in there washing the dishes and serving up the food, and he's a good worker around our league, and he does that not only just for Corio, but he puts his head down and bum up and at any club that needs some help.
Yeah, well, from where I stood, it was a damn good look anyway. Now, the big question. I've got a big question.
One question. But Andy was in work the other day, and I said, "What are you doing Saturday?" He said, "I'm going out to the opening at Leopold on Saturday."
Leopold?
I said, "Leopold." He said, "Oh, I'm going to Inverleigh." He said, "That's where I'm going." He was a little confused, so he might have had a bit of a hangover from that night before or something. I don't know.
Three of our guys have gone out there today. They got the opening of their new rooms, and I was going to go, but I had another occasion to come to, and that was to be on the air here, so it was a bit hard to get to both places. But Darryl, Andy, and Wayne Moore have gone out there to represent the league, and our clubs are doing very well. And I thank the councils for that, because we've got a few councils that our clubs represent: the Golden Plains, the Surf Coast, and Wyndhamshire, and the Geelong City Council, and they all do a magnificent job for the community clubs.
Okay, now, probably the biggest question I've got, we talk about the clubs and the other executives. Let's talk about Neville Whitley. You're over 80, right? You've done it since 1984. I did speak to a bloke, Fano, this morning, reckons you've gone a year too long. You know what
Fano, I know all about it.
But no, look, seriously, over 80, how long does Neville Whitley go on for?
Oh, well, till they cut me out in the box, probably. But
yeah.
No, that's not right.
That's not right.
Answer. But not really. I've been very lucky that I've had good people around me, and I think that's the name of the game. Is if you can put a sound group of people that they know what to do. Our clubs know what to do. It's just a matter of, and we're financially sound, so that makes it a lot easier, because you're not demanding, more sponsors and all that sort of stuff. So it sort of runs itself to a certain extent. But the secretary and the treasurers, they have the hardest job. The president just directs. So you can stay around as long as you can delegate.
Don't forget Linda. Don't forget Linda.
No, I won't forget Linda.
That's a big word, delegate.
Yeah, it is. That's. I think that's what it's about, and I think clubs have got to learn that you don't take on too much yourself, and even though I keep an eye on what's going on, I don't get too excited about things.
Do you have to be double vaccinated to play? That's my other question.
No, you don't have to be double vaccinated to play. You have to be. It's preferred, but it's not necessary. But when you go in the social rooms, you have to be. To be ticked in with your like it's a hospitality area. Understand. So you've got to have double vax there, and also have your certificates.
Yep.
Neville, just on your role, I think everyone around Geelong has been impressed with your leadership during this sort of turbulent time. Many that follow football right across Geelong believe it's inevitable that there will be a conglomeration of leagues and 4 competitions and the like. Your clubs are continually directing you; they don't want that happen. Is it still an important part of your role to be that communication between AFL Barwon, the AFL in general, and your clubs?
Yes, AFL Barwon are very good to us. We communicate with them very well. We only operate and manage our senior clubs anyway, and we help the juniors out where we can financially, such as repay the Auskick fee of around about $100 back to the parents. So our Auskick kids up to 50 at each club, and we also pay the registrations and insurances for junior players to AFL Barwon. So we do work in with AFL Barwon because they run our junior competitions, and but there's talk about promotion relegation always rears its head over the years. But I've got the attitude that if any club wishes to move up, they have the right to apply anyway. And if you want to come across to another league, you have the right to apply. That's happened in the past without having automatic promotion relegation. So I'm not sure about automatic promotion relegation, because a lot of people think it was just in football, but you've got to consider netball as well. So if your football club goes down or your football club goes up, where does your netball go?
You drop them. You just drop them out the netball.
You can come to the meeting when you do that, Jack Grubby, and tell people that it is part of our league, and we've got to encompass that.
Can I ask one more question?
You sure can.
At the launch during the week, we've had some wonderful, wonderful number 1 memberships given out over the years. We'll talk about the netball one later. But Ray Ettridge was granted the number 1 ticket holder of Geelong District Football League. I spoke to him. He was so rapt and so deserving too, Neville.
Yeah, he was been a hard worker, Ray, over the years, because he took on, when he left Belmont, he came on to the executive, and he was on the junior committee, Geelong Junior Football Committee, and he used to go around clubs, and he had a group of people that used to do that. And I think that's lacking a little bit in junior football now, that there's no one to coordinate or go there and help. It's left to just too few from AFL Bowen that might go around to some clubs, but Ray and his group of guys used to go to different games and help the coaches out, help the managers out, and it was a worthy recipient of our number one ticket holder. And we also introduced number one ticket holder for netball as well.
Yes.
So, and that was Gail Ferguson from East Geelong, who's been around since we introduced netball. And she's helped out at East Geelong, and she's also helped out at the league level over the final series with helping Megan Dean, Madge Annan, and now Lee Doherty.
Okay, yep. That's good. That's good. And it was a pretty good decision to go for the two of them, I thought.
Yeah, it has happened. It's happened in other leagues as well, so it wasn't anything that was new to us. But when you go to other leagues and have a look around, you pick up some things that gives you ideas that you should encompass.
Rob?
Yes, Neville, the season about to kick off. You're happy with the way everything's going. The improvement of the Geelong and District Footy League. It's a place where players are happy to come and play in now. That the standard of footy is better. I mean, every year we watch it, I believe it's getting better and better. The gap's closing between the competitions. Has that been a real highlight for you in the last 5 or 6 years?
Oh yes, it's always been our ambitions to try and close the gap, and we cater for our standard of football and people that want to have a more relaxed atmosphere around their playing days and playing games. Some come a little bit later in their life, but now we're getting some younger guys that are being recruited and coming over in their early 20s, and I think I think bringing in the order off really cleaned up our league, and was always known as a little bit of hard bash and crash type of league, but that's all been fixed up over the last 15, 20 years.
Because we talked about this last year, Dale, about kids playing GFL under 19s and come out of that and can't play GFL. This is a really good place to come to improve your footy and then get into your early 20s and then have another crack at the higher level once you've played that season of pretty hard senior footy.
Well, it would be for some of those clubs at the higher level, because some of those clubs have got that many juniors that they can't obviously bring them all through to their senior side, and they keep recruiting at the top end, so these kids sometimes miss out. So it is good for those kids, and you'll often find if you can drag one or two of them, you might get 3 or 4 because they all want to stay and be mates. I suppose we go back to the point system, and that situation is, I think even if they come from a GFL level back to us, Never, I think they carry like a 4 points, which I think is probably a bit harsh. Is that the way it is when they come out of junior football back to, if they came back to us here?
It depends whether they played how many senior games they've played.
So if they were coming to, but is it a junior? I thought it was. How come some of the kids have gone from juniors and gone to other?
When you play under 19s, you carry points, but we haven't got under 19s now. It's under 18. So the under 19 kids have moved across. I think a couple went from St Mary's to East Geelong, and a couple to other clubs as well. They carry 2 or 3. I think they dropped a point off.
Yep.
And they carry 2 points. At least 2, maybe 3.
I know when it first happened, I think there was a bit higher. And because I understand kids wanting to go and try and play at senior level, but they probably couldn't go there because of clubs couldn't afford their point system, which is ridiculous.
I think it's something that has to be looked at, because some of the kids will give away. They won't play the game, and but if they come back and play in the reserves and bolster up some of our clubs, that's good.
Yep.
But you're right that. I was down to Drysdale just before watching under 12s, and they had some good kids in under 12s. So they're in a growth area, and I don't know how many under 12s they got, but they got some good little footballers running around in that club.
Are they bigger than me?
Some are.
Some are.
I know.
Neville, thank you very much for your time. It started off well. We wish you all the best. We'll keep in touch as the year goes on, and fingers crossed. We have a great start today, and we'll know in a few weeks exactly how we're going with that bridging the gap, both football and netball. But it's looking pretty good, and Grubby is going to analyse it with a fine-tooth comb very, very shortly. So, David, we might go back to you at the studio to clear some sponsorship announcements, and we'll be back here with some detailed analysis of 2022.
William
GDFL action coming to you this afternoon. Thomson versus Belpost Hill. Thomson, a disappointing side last year, fell away a little bit. Belpost Hill came home with a wet sail, chock-a-block full of wind. Richard Grubby Cations has been over both sides over the pre-season. Grubby, how are they looking?
Well, with Thomson, I don't know, because they've got a hell of a lot of new players in, and they've got a few really, really good players out. So I need to know that their players coming in can actually cover the players that are left. You have a look at the names. John O'Casey, to me, he was a superstar. He's one of the best players in the comp, John O'Casey. He's gone. Troy Fenavesi, I reckon, was Thompson's best player all last year. Pete Hardy was a good player. Andrew Hodgson, we know, was a really good player. Big Andrew Jarvis, I reckon he was the best ruckman in the comp.
Yep.
So, Jared and Josh Westwood were great players. And Adam Wiseman held, even though he didn't play a lot last year, held the back line together. So when you take them out, you've got blokes like Jordan Cam, Josh Cam from Colac Imps. I don't know. Jaden Excel from Leopold, supposed to be a very, very good player, so he's covered one of them. Sam Green, Cam Habgood, Adam Healy, Andrew Mead Harding, Blake O'Halloran, Jack and Mitch Sheedy. Look, we need to see those blokes.
You've missed one, Blake.
Well, I missed him because I got absolutely no idea how to say his name. It's Amy Nishimi Have a Banana or something like that. I don't know. But all these blokes, we don't know. So we're going to get first hand, see how they go today, see how Thomson go today. The ins for Belpost Hill are pretty good as well. Will Ford, we know he can play. Matty James is back from Bannockburn. He's a Neville Whitley medalist and runner-up as well, so we know he can play. Sam Quinn from Hamilton, he's a very good, hard little tough nut. He's a plumber from Lara these days. He works with my son, actually. So I reckon he's all right. Daniel Wells returning, he's not playing today. Zane Jones is a little bloke from Portland. I reckon he goes all right. Josh Andrews from St Mary's. Big Jimmy Fisher from Belmont. I saw him a couple of years ago at Belmont. I thought he was a terrific player. So the ins look good, but they've also got to cover the outs in one of my favourite players since I've been in here since 1984, you know. And one of my favourite players of all time was Attila Sulix, and he's retired. I'm devastated. He's retired. But I think he's running water or doing the running, so hopefully they can talk him into playing and make one more year. Matty Lentini, done his back. He's part of the dynasty. He's given away. The two big ones are Carter and Collins. Brock Carter and Bo Collins are gone. I don't know how they're going to cover that. Some of these new players are better be good players because they were great players. Daniel Gray's out here in the twos, but he's just helping out. He's gone back to athletics. And Chrissy Moore, even though he didn't play a lot last year, has gone up to Powelltown. Don't ask me who wins this because I don't know all the new players. I'll just sit back, watch, and hope for a really entertaining game.
Amy Nishimanyana is the gentleman's name, but as for the rest of the afternoon, he'll be referred to as Amy at the instruction of the coach of the football club. So that's what we're going to go with.
He told me, just call him Amy. Unbelievable.
That'll make my life easier. Grab, won't it?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say it's a bit of a trade-off, Dale, because your biggest curse in Bailey Cale has found out he's put in a clearance to head up and play at the Colac Imperials.
Thank God for that.
Connor Linehan Cunningham's gone to Lara, but there's still Bryce there.
Yeah, we'll still struggle at some stage, no doubt.
I've heard you over the years really struggle with Smith and Jones, so don't worry about these hard names.
Okay, a couple of interesting sides from last year, Grubby. East Geelong, we saw a great deal of improvement in them. They impressed us a couple of times very, very much. And the Belmont Lions, your good mate Nathan Bissett at the helm has clearly straightened them up. They're better organised, got some more players. Again, not a lot of wins, but improvement clearly. Any word on their improvement, and will East Geelong be as good at least?
Well, East Geelong, I just think East Geelong will be better because I reckon at the moment, possibly from the exception of Inverleigh, I think they're running their club better than anybody else. Through their juniors and what they do off the field with all the O'Learys and all that. I think they're doing a great job. They've actually brought in some good players. Billy Andrew, I don't know. Calabizard from St Mary's can play, but he's not playing today. Either is remember Dale Lappin? He's come back. He was there for a while. He's not playing today. Tom Mars from Vermont. I'll tell you what, if he played in Vermont first in the Eastern, then he'll be a good player because they've been a strong side for years. Zach Smith, Watson. So they brought back Ruben Vesicuru. He's a bloke that gets the footy. He really gets the footy. So I reckon they've strengthened. They have lost Michael Bolitho, who played pretty well the times we've seen him last year. Ben Bosley's gone. Jacob Nagawati is a very, very good defender they've lost. The big one they've lost is Luke Williams. Luke Williams was one of the better players of the competition last year, and I was hoping he would stay. But I think their ins might cover their outs. So I think they're going to be a lot better. Belmont have gone a different way. Instead of saying, well, we've got 8 or 9 recruits, here they've got Matt Simino from St Mary's apparently can play, or Semino can play. Luke McElhenney from Mottawarri can play, and Benny McPherson from the Amos. So rather than go for quantity, I think Bisso's gone for quality. I think he's added to that side last year. They lose Connor Brown, who's gone to Grovedale. I don't know whether he'll make it at Grovedale. He's in the seconds this week. I talked to the Grovedale coach during the week. He's in the seconds this week. Mitch Goff is gone. And young Noah Sanderman, he's going to try his luck at Leopold. So good luck to those 2 players. It's going to be tough. But as I say, I just think Belmont Lions will improve because of quality ahead of quantity. But at this stage, I think I'll go for East Geelong at home.
Interesting 3 names at East. The 3 young blokes that come up out of there all still could play junior footy last year. Menzies, Crombie and Mulverhill.
Yep.
They really impressed us a couple of times we saw them. If they have natural improvement, they'll bring a lot of energy to that side as well.
Well, I've got no doubt they'll have natural improvement, and they don't need much because they were already senior footballers of good note last year when we saw them. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of know-how, and that's why I love the way East Geelong are running. They could have just said, nah, we'll play them in the seniors every week. But they didn't. They brought them up, give them a taste, drop them back, brought them up. This year, they might be ready to play every week. I don't know. But it would have been easier to just play them. But no, they've gone back to the under-18s and enjoyed their footy. And I don't think they need that much natural improvement because when we saw them, 2 of them were best on the ground.
I was really impressed with Menzies. If he can get a few more kilos on, I think he's a very natural-looking player.
Yep.
Now, a team that you'll know a lot about is Werribee Centrals. They're heading out to take on Inverleigh. We know Inverleigh are going to be better. Where are Werribee sitting?
Don't know. I really don't know. I've been over to train and they haven't had a lot of players over there. Usually they've got 70 to 80 this time of the year. They've got about 35 when I went over, but they seem to have filled both sides. What they've done, I think we'll go for the outs. The outs, they haven't even put all their outs in, but Zach Anthony's out, the full-back, and I don't know whether he'll play all year. Nathan Johnson, he's gone to North Heidelberg, and I asked him why, and his direct quote was, I'm sick of getting victimised and crucified by the AFL Bar and Tribunal. And that's the reason he's gone. Now, I'm not going to say whether I agree with him because I might get in trouble, but he's just devastated the way they treated him and the match review panel, the whole lot, and he said, I'm out. So he's gone. He's gone to North Heidelberg. Connor Linehan Cunningham, as I said, has gone to Lara.
Well done.
Thank God.
I thought he was going to go to St Joey's, but he's gone to Lara. I think he's a better chance of getting the game at Lara than at St Joey's. So good luck to him, and I hope he goes well. Jackson Smith's gone, the coach's son. He's going to play over at Frankston Dolphins. So I didn't think he'd play again, but good luck to him. He's a beautiful kid, and I hope he does really, really well.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Darryl Chesterman and Chad Buck, they couldn't get, because we're not league footballers, you can't get your operations whenever you want them. And they didn't get their operations on their knee and whatnot till early this year. So they won't be back till at least June, July. So that puts them behind the 8 ball in their defence, especially. Their ins, well, Jesse Patterson, he's a brilliant player, Jesse Patterson. He'll be a really good player if they can get him on the ground. He took a year off because his hamstrings were gone. And he didn't play a practice match because he done a hammy at training. So I only just hope he can get fit enough. Fitness-wise, he's the fittest bloke you've ever seen, but the hammies just keep going on him. So I hope he goes well. We all know about Josh Bowman. He's kicked about 20 goals in the first 3 or 4 practice matches. So he's flying, Josh Bowman from Inverleigh. And if anyone asks, he's become a police officer. He works in Melbourne, and it's just too hard for him to get back to Inverleigh. That's why he's going to play at Werribee. Dylan Blair from Hoppers Cross, and I've got no idea who he is, so we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. Another bloke who has played, you probably don't remember him. His name's Darcy Insel. Great big tall kid.
Yeah.
Played at Carraro one year,
Yep.
and then decided he didn't want to play. He wanted to go back and play. He was only 16 at that stage, and he went back and played in the juniors. He's back. I like him. I think he's a really good player. Huge backup for Paddy Daly. That's a help. Inverleigh. Well, Inverleigh, I think they got 4 or 5 out today, which, he's Jimmy Macaulay back. Brad Circuit's not playing, and I reckon he's a very, very, very good player. I'll even go to superstar status for him. They reckon he's that good. So I haven't ever seen him, but they reckon he's that good. So, but he's not playing. Luke Wilson from North Geelong, we all know about him. Matt Ward from Lara, he's not playing today. Mason Dixon, I never heard of him. Jamie Phillips has gone for a clearance from North Geelong to Inverleigh.
He can play.
He can play, but I don't know if North Geelong will clear him as of yet. I don't know if he's on contract for 1 year or 2 years.
Well, I'll tell you what, with what they've got already, that's another 4-pointer, so that's going to be very hard to get him in.
It will, but we've got to remember that Inverleigh have got a hell of a lot of juniors still playing on 1 point. So if any club can fit another 4-pointer in, Inverleigh can. Not West or Winch, who I'll be keeping their eye on their points, don't worry. Alex Brown and Jared Love, they're playing. Look, Inverleigh, everyone says Inverleigh would win the flag last year. I concur with that. I think Bellpost might have given them a run for their money. But I think they've improved in what they've done. Pete Plummer's out injured, Geordie Drew's out, and Josh Bowman's gone to Werribee. They've lost a little bit, but they've gained on what they were last year. So for me, they're favourites for the year and favourites for the day.
Those two top ones will be still playing once they get back, won't they?
Well, they've said they're out injured. So I don't know if it's for the year or
I
what.
think Peter Plummer did either a shoulder or a knee late last year or halfway through last year, so he won't be back until halfway through. Now, Geordie Drew, as I said, I've seen him recently, but he must have hurt himself since I last saw him, which was probably 5-6 weeks ago. So,
well, let's face it, mate. If they can't come back till three-quarters of the way for the year, I don't know whether they can break into that side anyway.
I think Peter Plummer can.
Without pre-season, without playing, if he comes back just after halfway, he'll be struggling to get a game come finals.
Dale, you've had a lot of selection meetings in your time as a coach. Wilson goes there and it allows Cad McHugh and Walsh to play in his probably preferred position at centre-half forward, but they've got Dalton Grundle and they've got Casey Meehan and they've got Adam Donoghue. Does it get really difficult to make it all work with that many players who are naturally going to attract the ball?
Yeah, well, probably once they're all playing and up and running, they will be. I think Casey Meehan's at a wedding today, so he won't play today, and so it'll make it interesting. But I think that Inverleigh, we spoke. I think Grab mentioned before about Nathan Bissett going out. Inverleigh have gone out and got a ruckman, which they desperately needed. Like Cad McHugh and Walsh did a great job last year, but to me, better preferred to a centre half forward position.
Who was the ruckman in the team of the year?
Tim McClellan from.
Okay.
And see, he can then go in as a second ruckman behind and just spend 5 minutes in there rather than spend the whole time. So that suits them better. That they can then use Dalton Grundle as a round-the-ground on-ball or whatever you want to do. So, and Circuit, obviously another on-baller, which they probably didn't need, but they've got another one in there, which is pretty handy.
You need him when he's that good.
He's pretty good, and he'll be a real bonus once they get him back. So they're not going to risk him today. Obviously, first game of the season, they'll sit back and let him get himself right, and then bring him back through. So they've got quite a few number of players, and as I said, just looking through their second side, I believe that, it's as strong as it's ever going to be. If someone has got depth to cover injuries during the course of the year, they'll be a side that will be able to do it, and I don't think they'll miss a beat as they did last year.
Two sides will definitely be vying for finals. One has been a regular in Bannockburn. Geelong West sort of touched on it. Grubby, how do they look off-season?
Well, remember that's tonight too. That's not today.
Yep.
That's tonight at 6 o'clock. Bannockburn have got a few blokes in. They've got Lockie Battaglia. I don't know if he'll be a regular senior player from St Albans, but from St Albans he's obviously a chance. Lewis Clifton from Leopold, he is playing today. Callum McCarthy from Lorne, he's playing today. I don't know much about him. I do know a little bit about a kid that's come back. His brother's already there. Is Lockie Middleton. Apparently he's a really good player. That's Willie's brother. So apparently he can play a bit. They've got some good outs though, Bannockburn. They've got Matt James is gone. Tommy Parsons is retired. They'll miss him. Michael Stevenson, they'll miss him. And Lockie Stewart's gone off to, I think he's gone somewhere else as well. The other two have retired. So, look, at night, I don't know what, they reckon it's late rain and all that sort of stuff. So, I'm just not quite sure.
Just one other name there. Blake Miller, where's
retired?
He has he?
Well, so they didn't have him on his outs.
Yeah,
on their outs.
But maybe they're still hoping. But
Matt, I got that from Matty James, said that he went to Bannockburn because of his friendship with Blake Miller.
Yeah.
And also to play under Riccardi, and when both of them left, that was one of the major reasons why he decided to go back.
Yeah, okay. So, look, again, I think West will improve. Bannockburn, they're always going to be around and about, so I'm not going to tip tonight because I just really don't know.
Yeah. But would it be fair to suspect that West will be better, and they needed to be a little bit?
They've got some big ins again, haven't they, Grub?
I don't know. How would I know? I didn't get a team list. I don't know.
Oh.
And that's the new rule for the year. We don't get a team list, we don't talk about them.
Yeah, all right.
Text Wilkes a couple of times.
We'll wait for round 5 before we know where they're at, probably. In the last game, which is tomorrow, Anarchy, who really struggled last year, they were valiant in some games. We saw them once, and they really did struggle. They had 5 or 6 handy players, but fell away quite badly. Again, there's names come into the club, but unless you've seen or heard of them in your time, Grubby, we don't know whether they're going to be better. Winch are definitely upbeat. You had a long conversation with their coach during the week, so how do you see those two going?
Well, I don't see Anarchy improving that much on this list. But going through their list, I ran out of time last night, but there is a few other players in there that aren't on their ins. But their ins are Luke Cook from Wyndham Suns, who's a handy player, I know that. Daniel Hayward from Wyndham Vale's a handy player as well. So I'll get a bit out of them. Mitch Howe from Lake Boga, I just don't know. and Braden Riddell from Mitiamo, I don't know either. Well, you don't know those leagues. The good thing with Anarchy is they've only got 2 outs. You've got Chris Sneddon, who's going to have a year off, and little Eddie Bryson Jr., who's a handy player. He's gone back with Glen Orden, and good luck to him. But they're outs. They haven't lost that many players, so they may be a little bit better, but they're a long, long way behind. So they've got a lot of work to do. But Winch, Lockie Kendall, I'm just going to say up the bush, because he had a name, it was about, the town was 8 names long. I couldn't fit it on my book. So he's from the bush. Tommy Phosphor from East Fremantle. So if he played in their seniors, he's going to be an 11-pointer. He'll be an 11-pointer. Braden O'Hanlon from Port Arlington. Nick Pratt from North Shore. Actually, O'Hanlon's not playing today. Foss is. Kendall is. Pratt from North Shore is not playing. Tom Rouget from Ocean Grove is. Apparently a pretty good player. Tommy Stevenson from Birregurra is not playing. Damien Tabakovic from Carnham Linton. He's not playing. Maloney, Tickner, Archie Howard. I think he's from Osborne, which I think is a suburb just out of Adelaide. And Ruben James, he's from Benalla. They look like they're going to improve. The game's tomorrow. I'm going to go and have a look at it, but I think I'd have to favour Winch at this stage. But we could ask you, mate, but he never bloody well turned up.
No, he didn't, and I was going to let you know that. That wasn't his fault, that was mine, because I don't read very well.
No, okay.
I will tell you, one of those players he started his career at Mottawarri, Braden O'Hanlon. I've seen him firsthand. He will be a very bullocky midfielder, extremely strong fella, and he's tough as all nails, so he'll certainly help him in the middle of the ground.
Okay.
So we know that a few are going to be better. We know that...
Did we miss a game?
Sorry?
Did we miss a game?
I don't think so.
Did we talk about
we talked about
North?
Corio North.
No,
we did miss a game.
No, we haven't spoken about them.
I thought we did. Let's go to Corio North, Grubby.
Well, both sides have made some pretty significant changes. Corio, to their credit, have lost one. Young Jackie Larkins has gone to Western Australia. He's the only bloke they've lost. All right, now, remember, they've got to come from a fair way back too.
Yep.
They won the one game, but Destin Burns from Bell Park, he's their big signing. I had a look at him at train. Likely looking lad. I think he'll go all right. Young Dylan Sapphire from Glen Orden. I rang the Glen Orden coach last night. He said, yeah, good little kid, has a go. So he'll be an addition. Rob Cornwall. Nathan Kenyon's back from Undera. Remember Nathan Kenyon, so
yes.
He'll be handy for them. Matt Curick from Sunbury. Trent Smith returns. And one of the big ones, the BJ O'Toole. How good is it to see little BJ back? He's still got a bit of work to do, but he's worked so hard, and I wish him all the best. Another kid I spoke to, Dean Wright. Remember a bloke named Dean Wright, Smithy?
Yep, blonde-headed kid.
Yeah, well, he was there on Thursday night, and I went to the launch. I'll speak about that in a minute. I went to the launch, and I was sitting on his table. So I decided to give him a piece of me mind. I said, where are you playing, mate? He goes, seniors. I said, well, that's good, because I've seen you play, and I've seen your ability, and you've played too many seconds games for your ability. And he just looked at me, and then he said, well, I was an idiot. I'd done 2 knees, and I got on a grog, and I was lazy. He said, but I'm 27 now, and I've told Benno I don't ever want to play another seconds game. I said, look, Corio are never going to lure superstars to the club. None of us are. But you can play, and you might be the one within that helps Corio. So I really hope the kid goes well. He's a forward, so I just need Corio to get the ball down to him, because otherwise I'll probably put him down back and he'll get a bit dilute. But he's got a lot of ability, and I hope he goes well. There's another one, the boss, Sean McKenzie. You know Sean McKenzie? I don't think you would. A lot of people don't, and it won't mean a lot to a lot of people, but I don't care. It means a lot to them. He's a good Corio boy, but he's out at West at the moment. And he's doing his 100th game as water boy. So good on the kid, you know. He gets involved in footy. But anyway, I digress a little bit. North Geelong. Let's go to North Geelong's outs, right? Okay, there you go. Let's go to North Geelong's outs. Aidan George, a very good player. Jordan Hopper's gone to Lara. Good luck, and hope he makes it, but it's going to be tough for him. Daniel Key, I tell you what, it's just devastating we didn't see Daniel Key over the last couple of years with his knee injuries.
He's one of the best I've seen.
Oh, yeah, he's a great player, and unfortunately, the knee's caught up with him and he's gone. Brad Gerard's gone to North Shore, Tommy Swenison, Josh Widdowson. I think Gerard, I don't know if Gerard's playing today. Swenison definitely is. He's made the first at North Shore. Josh Widdowson didn't at this stage. Luke Wilson's gone to Inverleigh. There are a lot of good outs.
And Phyllis maybe.
And maybe now Phyllis. So there are a lot of good outs. They've replaced them with a bloke named Aaron Best from Frankston Bombers, who I don't know about. Jackson Buse from Anglesea can play. There's no doubt about that.
Son of the rat.
Yeah, I was told Ted Finlay, someone watched him at training, looks a likely character, so he might be all right. Jack Rhodes, Kai Henderson, Jackson Jewell from Lara. It's a kid, Jason's son from Werribee. Plays all right. Wasn't quite good enough with his skills for GFL, but plays all right. So he'll be a handy. Will Manny, also from Lara, don't know him. Daniel Smith from Windervale. He's a good player, Smithy, but he's done his knee already. So Mark Paramanov is back.
Paramanov,
He's back. So I remember him as a good player. And I've got to mention young Sam Reynolds. He works with young, the kid that's playing ahead today from Hamilton. Oh, I forget it. What's his name?
Collins, did you say?
Nah, the little kid that Quinny, Sam
yeah.
Quinn. He works with him down at Rivers Plumbing. So good luck to him too. Look, they're going to do it tough today too, North Geelong, because they haven't got a coach and they haven't got a president out there today.
Both COVID.
Both got COVID and both won't be there. So apparently Jared Bryant and Andrew Buse will be looking after the coaching duties. So I don't think they'll lose much in that. There's two blokes that know a lot about football. So, get well, Jason Bibb, and get well, Kelly Parker, who's also not too well. So all get well. Be back next week. I'm going to tip a draw out there today.
I'm going to go for Corio. We might just take a quick break and you can tell your other story a bit later. David, back to you in the studio. We'll take a little bit of a break with sponsors and then we'll be back with the match of the day here at the Thomson Football Club.
Football action. The match of the day. Only on 94.7 The Pulse.
We're back here at Thomson Football Club. Grubby's just completed his preparations and has comfortably popped back into the seat. Dale Smith, we'll go to you first. A first game we're always looking forward to. These are going to be fairly evenly matched sides, I think. How do you see it?
Yes, I agree. As I said, not knowing a lot about the ins and outs, that's the big concern for me. As I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how they all get together and gel and how quickly they'll do that. Now, obviously, they've both got good coaches on board, so they'll know their business and they'll know exactly what they need to do. I think it's just going to be interesting through the midfield. I think, as I said, the Thomson side have lost probably a little bit more through that area, which might make it bell post till day. But having said that, it's going to be a great contest. I said that James Fisher, Grubby spoke about him before. Now I realise who the bloke is. He'll be very handy and a good replacement for their ruck side of things, and he'll sort of give them a bit of a first head start, I would think, into the season. So Bo McNamara again, he's going to hold that back line six together.
Maybe.
Well, do you reckon he'll go forward?
He's not well.
Oh, isn't he?
No. I think he's back and everything's in trouble. I don't know if he'll last. Talking to Andrew Atchison, he might not last a year, Bowie.
Oh, okay.
So he's been injured. He's going to have a crack at it, but I don't think he's 100% fit.
Well, that'll be a big hole to fill if
Oh,
he
yeah.
goes out.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at their second side today with no Dan Gray,
They won't fill it.
there's not a hell of a lot of in their second side that I can see that come up, unless they got a few out and still haven't put their pen to paper. I'm not too sure, but they will need that to make them effective, I think.
Just before you keep going, East Geelong Reserves 18-12, 120, defeated Belmont 1 point.
Oh.
So Cogsy's on the ball already.
You're a good man, Cogs. Good man. So who rucks for Thomson? Gordon Cam, is it?
Number 30, yep.
Yep.
And that's a big miss because you mentioned about Brock Carter, but also Jarvis, the two of the best 4 ruckmen in the comp last year, not playing for these sides today. So it's going to have a whole big, a different look in the middle. And very shortly we were going to start. The umpire's got the ball in his hand. The 2022 season is about to start.
The first quarter, brought to you by Common Defane Hotel.
Dale Smith, take it away.
So ruckman to start off the season, and we go at it. Cam and Fisher. This time Cam gets the ball down, runs to the forward side. Cam goes back and collects its kick, was smothered off the boot. He goes back and tries to win possession again. He's working hard, the big fella. He's tried to set the example early from the side. Unfortunately, the ball is not coming out of the contest. Players Wrestle, McLeod, and also Yates are both in there, and the umpire says it's going to be mine, and he'll take possession about the centre half forward position. As I said, Bellpost Hill kicking to the city end, and that's where the breeze is favouring. Plant gets the handball out, and again the handball is effective, but ends on your hands of Benny Muir, goes back into their forward lane, goes long, again ball out the back of the contest. Costello tries to kick it off the ground. He doesn't get clean connection, and it runs through for a minor score. No,
I think he's made a free kick down in the back pocket.
In danger or something, was it? Maybe. We're not too sure, but anyway. Ball now kicked out of defence. Mark has been taken out there. This time it's by Bernie. No, it's not, sorry. It was Zach Plant, I should say. He goes along the boundary line. Nice looking kick. Mark is taken out there. So they steady things down on the half-back line. A little short kick. Again, just covers the required distance. Handball comes back inside. And the ball is now moved to the centre wing position and beyond. Leading back on the race of the ball is Caleb Basey, playing his 200th game today. So well done to Cabby. And he gets the ball, looks back inside for Seeker. Over the top of his head. Only a little Blake, so he didn't have much to aim for. Tackled. High umpire says yes, it was high, so he will win a free kick. So Vasika in the centre square, takes the free kick, got the handball outside, running player Baseley once again, looks up, goes short into the half-forward line, bit too much weight on it, Maguire comes out, got the handball away, Yates in hot pursuit, tries to bustle players off and did so, McLeod head over the ball, got the handball out, umpire says free kick, must have been high. Did put his head down into the tackle.
I thought he tried to bullock his way through, but umpire's right on the spot. That's fair enough.
Right beside him. So again, the nice kick back inside. Mark has been taken out there, and this time by Hodgson. So Hodgson now, short kick, and again they're chipping the ball around. Goes to Plant once again on the left foot. So they're playing a short game. So going to the centre wing, kicked off the ground, and basically back behind the ball, picks up again, got the handball back inside to James. Doesn't handball very often, but he might have to. He's got himself in trouble. Now he goes backwards. Got the ball out. That was okay to Fisher. Fisher goes back further in the hands there of Bernie, and he kicks back towards centre wing. Again, McLeod stands under it, doesn't take the mark, hits the ground. Handball picked up by Whitney. Over the top to Page. His kick was only short, and it's been cut off, and it goes across the ground. Ends up in the hands of Jacker, centre half back. He takes off. Decides to come clubber him side of the ground and goes longer. Ball in the air, over the top. Ball runs free, and there's got a free kick given. And this is Sam Green. So Sam Green now, centre wing. Free kick. Where's he from, Grub, did you say?
Biragara.
Right, okay, so ball now into the forward line. Mark is not taken at ground level. It's tapped further afield. Again, strong tackle there by Bernie. Umpire says the ball did not come out, and there's going to be a free kick to the Bellpost Hill player.
Yeah, Green had his early days at South Bowen and went up and played in, I think, a couple of premierships at Biragara.
So Bernie, he has got the ball on the half-back line. And he decides just to transfer the ball along towards centre wing. Ball comes to the front of the contest.
Oh,
that was a high one on Plant. Yes, it was. And Zach Plant wins the free kick. So he's got himself involved in this game very early. Nice use of the ball. Goes back inside. Cam has the ball. This is Jordan. He goes out wide again. This time again looking for Green. Green doesn't take the mark. Picked up in front. And that was Sheedy to try to win possession. Wins up in the hands of Blakesley. Goes back towards James, and now he runs and kicks long. Goes back into the forward line. Going back is forward. Back there with him is Davis, and he leads in the race for the ball. And it will be taken over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in.
Umpires for today's game: Alex Bizzanella, first senior game. Chris Jones would have done last year's GFL Grand Final, and Bruce Lindsay. He hasn't done a lot of senior footy, but they've started off well.
We're in the forward pocket for the Belpost Hill Club, kicking to the city end with a fairly strong breeze. Cam gets over the back of the pack for Thomson, knocks it down. Ball's not going anywhere. Tackled, basically. James trying to get it out there, but it quickly
I tell you what.
punched towards the line and through for a one behind. That was from a fair way away.
Well,
Grubby, I
as
can
far
never
as
quite
I'm
understand
concerned,
that
that's
rule.
deliberate.
Yeah,
That's deliberate. If it goes out of bounds, it's gone through for a point, has it?
Yeah, through for a
okay,
point.
fair enough. No, good umpire, fair enough.
So it's Jacker now for Thomson. Breaks away, kicks long down the wing, long as he can in this win. Davis over the back, can't take the mark. Coming through strongly for Belpost Hill is Yates. He can't get it away. Thomson kicked the ball clear. Bashley's underneath it. Working his body under the ball very well for Thomson there. Hand past the middle. Cam's running onto it. He gets away from his opponent. Kicks out neatly and finds Hodgson. And Hodgson kicks down and hits Exel on the chest for Thomson. He finds running down a teammate, and they're going to have a shot from goal. For goal, they'll be about 30 metres out. With this breeze, it might fully test the foot of Andy Mead Harding for the Thomson side. He'll be kicking from about 35 metres out.
One of the new blokes was Habgood, was the bloke that used his body beautifully. He didn't take the mark, but he used his body wonderfully.
So it's Mead Harding coming in now on the left foot, kicks it low, stabbing into the wing, goes right across the face of goal, but taking a mark.
Freeman, isn't it?
Thomson in the opposite forward pocket is Freeman.
Dan Freeman.
How good
Freeman
is to
for the
see this
Thomson.
kid back after that knee injury. He was going to win a flag from and just about did one year, and I'm glad to see this. He's a lovely kid, and it's great to see the kid back.
So Freeman now goes around with the banana, curls it around beautifully, and that is the...
Missed it.
I thought he had that.
So did I.
The umpire has called 1 point only. Freeman missed, so it scores a level, 1 point each. We're 2 minutes into... No, sorry, we're 6 minutes into the first quarter as the official clock. Yes, it is. The Eric Nichols clock is ticking away beautifully. So it's basically for Belpost Hill. Kicks long down the wing, punched over the back of the pack by Jack. Belpost Hill get the ball. Jack has got it back again. Kicks across his body under great pressure. The ball hovers in the breeze, and the reigning Neville Whitley medalist Dylan Whitney takes the mark for Belpost Hill on the centre wing.
Looked like a point to me too, but no one wins, so it must have been good umpiring.
Yeah, indeed. And it's Danielle for Belpost Hill that has the ball now after that neat little pass from Whitney.
He's got
looking
bigger.
for a teammate. He certainly has bulked up a bit. Long kick down the line. Costello comes out, takes a very strong chest mark, quickly on his feet, kicks the ball down forward, coming out for Belpost Hill is forward, can't hold the mark. Thomson grabbed the ball, dragged down immediately.
Tried to break the tackle.
The umpire says all is okay and we'll have a ball up. Half forward flank, Belpost in attack to the city end, 1 point each at the 7 minute mark.
Did he have the prior opportunity?
Nah, I reckon it was pretty good.
I think when you try and break a tackle, that's your prior opportunity, I think they call it. I think it was holding the ball.
So the ball has gone over the boundary line. Similar positions the ball up. We're going to have a throw in. Half forward line. Belpost Hill attacking into the ground.
I can already see this Lynch has changed their way they play, and I think they're going to be all right.
So the ball now thrown back in by the umpire. Yates doing the ruck work. Tapped out there. I think that may have been Davis. Ball comes down into the hands there of Shooty. Got the handball further afield again. No, one's going to bending down and picking it up. Ball goes back over the boundary line. And we're going to have another throw-in to take place.
If they can hold up against the wind, Grubby, I think this style could be very effective going with it.
Well, they'll change it, I think, when they have got the wind.
Yeah,
Against
they'll
the
go
wind,
longer,
they're chop, and it's working, and that's Lynch at his best, I reckon.
So Page comes out of the contest, kicks the ball back towards the centre half forward position, going across, collecting the ball was Belpost Hill player, couldn't see the number there, and he's been tackled, brought to the ground quickly. Umpire says there's going to be a ball up, so umpire hands the ball back. And coming through there was Danielle, so the ball now thrown up at the centre half forward position, again picked up by Cam, got right boot to ball, goes back into the centre square, evades a couple, handball from Bashley, ends up in the hands of Whitney on the left foot, good smother there, and he has to go back and win possession again, but Bashley arrives first, gets through the contest on the right boot, he goes back into their forward line, goes long, out the back, mark is taken, and I think that's from Josh Cam this time, and he goes out wide to the back pocket, mark is there, I think Gardner, So he's looking back in towards the centre half back position. Goes to Cam. This time it's been taken. And the mark will be by Jordan Cam. He looks further afield. Short kick, dangerous, and it's come undone. Mark has been taken out there by Staggard. He goes quickly back into the forward lane. But Thomson filled the spot nicely. Handball comes out, wasn't effective. They go back and try and win it. Over the top of the ball's Maguire. Tries to feed it out, but the players converge on him. And the umpire comes back to take possession once again.
Just across from centre half forward, Thomson in attack. Bellpost Hill in attack to the city end. Jordan Cams gets a tap over the back. McLeod runs onto the ball and with strength grabs it, forces it forward for Thomson, but neatly picking up for Bellpost Hill. Flacavento, hand pass across to Staggard. He kicks long down the line, punched clear of the pack by Paul Davis, who's operating in defence, and we're going to have a boundary throw in. Just 5 metres around from the point post. Bellpost Hill in attack. They've probably got a 4 or 5 goal win. We're nearly 10 minutes in and it's only 1 point each, so it's a very good defensive effort by Thomson. Jordan Cam again gets the tap. He gets the ball back. Coming out towards that is his teammate in Josh Cam. It comes off his hands. The umpire's blown the whistle. Deemed that there's been a hold in the ball decision.
I think it's a goal anyway, and they're going to let it stand. Yes.
Yeah, played advantage, and we have a goal, and I'm not quite sure who kicked that.
Maybe Nick Costello, I think.
There's pats on the head to Costello, so we'll presume is him at that stage. Was that the first major for the afternoon?
He'd claim it anyway.
1 goal, 1 to Bellpost Hill, and 1 point to Thomson, and we're 10.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, look, it took them a while. I think you win the toss and kick with the win first game of the year. It's probably the worst thing you can do because your skills are rusty. You haven't played under a real lot of pressure. And that's what it's found out here too. But Thomson are defending very, very well. They're playing the short game out of attack. Bellpost Hill, I think, need to kick another 2 or 3 before the siren just to be in front at quarter time.
Yeah, I think they're just their delivery into their forward line's not
hasn't been great.
No, just bombing it long, so they need to lower their eyes a bit. The ball from Fisher comes out. It's going to be picked up there. Staggard had possession, then went back and got it again. Got boots of ball, went back in towards the centre half forward. Jacker going back on the fly.
Oh, he grabbed it.
Great hand, Sam Jacker takes the mark and goes to right hand into the hands of McLeod. Looks for these options, comes out wide, club rim side. Mark will be taken out here. O'Halloran is, so he's looking further afield. Good sized lad, goes short, kick wasn't great. It's going to be picked up there. Basely runs at the ball, didn't take possession of it, kept it alive, knocked it out. Freeman's there for Thomson on the left boot. That was okay, so it was effective. Went in the hands of Plant. He got the handball away. Only his father's had good. He's under pressure, picked up by Basely. And this is what they've been doing, is just putting on the boot and going long. Dylan Whitney's out the back, ball runs free. Who's going to be first to arrive? It's Thomson coming the other way. As Cam comes through, little short kick again, goes only as far as James at Bellpost Hill. Picked up. Plant was taken high, he says, and the ball will be in the hands of Zach Plant.
After he kicked before
so Zach Plant has used the ball pretty effectively. That kick not quite as good, basically over the top, and it's
that's going to go against Cubby. He's played it against you, Cubby.
Oh no, he's pointing the other way now.
Well, it was against Cubby because he dived under his legs. It should have went the other way up.
So the ball's gone long in towards forward. Hands, Mark couldn't take the mark, picked up there, and they clear it away. The Doogies gets the handballs away, puts Jacker under a bit of pressure. Did get boots of ball, so they've kept it alive, Bellpost Hill. And kicking the ball is Harmer. He goes long into the forward line. Well, it bounced. It's in the goal square, it runs free, and it still hasn't crossed the line, so it's cleared away, picked up out there. And it's going to be Donahue that gets the ball out, only as far as the half-forward line, picked up by Harmer once again. He's looking to go back in, long, back towards the square, and over the top, through for a minor score.
It's 1 goal, 2, 8. We're at the 12, almost a 13-minute mark of the first quarter. Thomson at 1 point, but I'll tell you what, they'd have taken to being 7 points down this deep into the quarter. They've done a really, really good job defensively, held the ball well, short kicking. The players are working hard to make a position. It's a really good system they've got going.
I want to know what happened here. He paid the free kick the right way.
I think he pointed the wrong way. I think that's
But he shouldn't have. You're not allowed to dive under a bloke's leg.
So that's
what he did. It should have went to Thomson.
Almost a mark over the back to Maguire, the captain of the Thomson side.
On you, mate.
But the umpire hasn't paid it, and we're going to have a ball up. We're only 5 metres in from the boundary line, just around from our commentary position, half forward flank for Bellpost Hill. Fisher and Cam have been working away in the ruck. They're at it again. Cam might have got slightly more down to Plant. Plant has been right in the thick of things. That's a third free kick he's got today because he's put his head over the ball. He's working really hard for the Thomson side. Neat little left put kick from him down the line. Ball hasn't been held by Hodgson, and it's gone. No, it's not. It's Hodgson just dropped the mark, gone out of bounds, right in front of our commentary box, centre wing. We're now 14 minutes into the first quarter. Fisher and Jordan Cam again. Fisher neatly gets it down to Yates. He can't control the ball over the back of the pack. Freeman gets away. Little left foot kick, struggles to get any distance. Hand pass over the back of the pack by Namey. Amy knocks it down again to coming through his base. He gets it across. Yates trying to get the ball in his back.
Is that Nashamanana?
Yep.
I thought he was Japanese by the look of the name.
It's over the boundary line, and Yates couldn't hold it. We're going to have another boundary throw in just around from our box. 8 plays 1, 14 and a half minutes first quarter.
Fisher brings the ball down. Amy picks the ball up, got the handball away, goes towards McLeod, tries to work his way through the contest. It gets through the hands of Gardner. He goes back and collects it, but put a pressure there. Sheedy tackled, brought over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in to take place right in front of the broadcast box here at Thomson. Clubroom side of the ground. So umpire about to restart play. Fisher holding front position. So he's there. Ball comes down to the front of the contest. Handball over the top. That's a nice collect there. I'm not too sure that was Jones. He was tackled, brought to ground, picked up there, cleared away by Hodgson. Goes into their half-forward line. McNamara gets the handball away, picked up. He just gave it to Freeman. Freeman steams towards goal, lines up, and he has
And that's what we love to see.
Dan Freeman's got his first goal of the afternoon, and that is Thompson's first. That's 1-1 Thomson. They trail Bellpost Hill on 1-2. 15 minutes gone. First quarter, Buckley's Entertainment first quarter score.
See what I'm talking about before the game? When this kid gets the ball, it's all excitement. It's great footy to watch, and it's great to see him back. They've toiled really hard against the win, Thomson, and now they've been rewarded with a goal against it. But as I say, against the win, you got to run it. And who better to run it than anyone in the competition than Daniel Freeman? Good football, Thomson.
That goal at this stage of the quarter is absolute gold, isn't it? Levelling things up. So Bellpost will have to work really, really hard to have an advantage, because this is a 4 or 5 goal breeze. There's no doubt about it.
Watch this. Freeman's back! He's back!
And he's concentrating very hard on the footy. Fisher and Cam again. Cam gets it down very, very neatly to Exel. He can't break clear from the pack. He's been tackled again.
He's back!
Jack Sheedy, sorry. The umpire comes in, and he's going to ball it up. We're almost still in the centre circle.
I just saw Blake O'Halloran had a bit of a link up there
Jordan,
too.
Cam and Fisher again. Comes over to the back to Whitney. Hand passes about. Muir's trying to run on the ball. Couldn't overrun there by Bellpost Hill. Cam gets it across quickly to a teammate in Sheedy. He kicks down the line. And coming out to take the mark is XL. He kicks wide across the ground, looking for and finding Brent McLeod. And he's taken a mark. He'll be about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. The scoreboard be directly behind where he's kicking, showing Thomson 7, Bellpost Hill 8. And if he can get this through, it will be vital to the Violet Crumbles late in the first quarter.
Look, I'm not going to have a go at the umpires, right? But what they really need to do with this new stand rule is they've got to call play on straight away. He never called play on until he was 3 steps gone, and the Bellpost Hill player wasn't allowed to move.
So it's McLeod, deliberate shot. It's a very neat kick. Ed has gone straight over the goal umpire's head, and at this stage of the game, that is a vital goal to the veteran Brent McLeod of the Thomson Footy Club. A very important goal at this stage of the quarter, Grubby.
Well, they're up and about, Thomson, and I just think Bellpost Hill look a little bit flat, which I actually tipped before the game. I think they'll be better through the year, and hopefully today, but I just think they look a little bit flat, and Thomson are up and about. But I just want to go back to that. That stand rule, you're not allowed to move until the umpire calls play on. He didn't call play on until after he's taken 3 steps. He's got no hope of chasing him.
It's as bad in the league as well, though, Grub.
Hey?
It's as bad in the AFL.
Well, I reckon it's improved a little bit in the league, but our umpires have got to make sure they call play on straight away.
So Cam over the top, gets the ball down. Plant runs on towards it. He doesn't take clean possession. Goes back into the hands there of Sobel, and he kicks the ball into the half-forward line, into the hands of Yates. He takes the mark now. With that little bit of breeze behind, he could probably kick the distance, but he goes by hand to Whitney. Whitney on the left boot, loaded up, went long, but too long. Got distance quite easily and straight over the top of Joel Page's head. So another minor score to Bellpost Hill takes him to 1-3. And Thomson on 2-1. We've ticked over 18 minutes first quarter. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard. Maguire with the kicking in duties. He decides to come to the clubroom side of the ground. Mark up in front, not taken. Ends up in the hands of Page. Well, he's still taken out of his hands by James, who goes back on the left boot, back to the goal square, over the top forward, had hands on it, and got boots a ball. He will finish the job. And through for his first goal in Bellpost Hill colours. It moves Bellpost Hill back to 2-3. And Thomson on 2-1. As I said, we've gone just over 19 minutes first quarter.
Well, again, like Maguire kicked it out from full back, but he kicked it to a pack. What they've been doing is kicking it to teammates on their own, down the ground. But he kicked it out to a pack, and unfortunately for them, Bellpost Hill, I thought James might have had a shot because he should get the distance from there. But Will Ford, he's going to be a great acquisition. I know Daniel Gresky, he was very sad that he left Winchelsea, but I think he's going to be a very good player. And even though Thomson, I think Thomson are in front at the moment, even though they're not on the scoreboard with this win.
Well, I reckon Jordan Cam is the best player on the ground at the moment. He's going to go up in the ruck against Fisher. He gets a neat little tap over the back, but intercepted by Bellpost Hill. They come in. Fisher butters up again. Hand passes across to his teammate Sabille. He kicks the ball forward. Sable, I should say, over the back of the pack, but it's going to dribble out of the over the boundary line. Half forward flank, far side of the ground. Thomson have snuck up nicely on Bellpost Hill. 2-1-13 to 2-3-15. We're nearly 20 minutes into a first quarter with at least a 4-goal breeze at the back of Bellpost Hill. Fisher again gets it over the back. James runs onto it for the gets around on his right foot, and with that long raking kick puts it down in the direction of forward. He can't quite hold the ball, running over the back of the pack very cleverly. Gets it across to Baseley. Baseley across his body with a snap. The umpire wanders over underneath it, taps himself on the shoulder, and signals one behind only. Bellpost Hill 2-4-16, Thomson 2-1-13. We're exactly 20 minutes into the first quarter.
If you reckon Jordan Cam's the best on the ground, Cubby Baseley mustn't be far behind.
He's going all right
and
too.
I hate this rule because Zach Plant was going well early and he came off the ground. And again, I watched that big Zach O'Halloran. He's a big lump of a lad, but he was limping. He looks okay
he did look to be in a bit of trouble.
Now.
It's Davis for Thomson, has the ball. We normally saw him playing at centre-half forward last year. In defence today, kicks long out to the wing, looking for Exel. Can't hold the ball over the back of the pack. Coming through strongly is Costello for Bellpost Hill. There's a bit of a late contact there. A few feathers ruffled, but everyone's back on track now. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Half forward flank, Bellpost Hill in attack. Fisher and Cam again in the ruck. They've contested every contest. Cam gets it across again to the umpire's signal. Yeah, push in the back. I thought Freeman. Freeman. 7 for Bellpost Hill. Danielle has the ball for Bellpost Hill. He's just outside the 50 mark, but he has a breeze. He dodges around his player, gets himself in good position, has a long bomb at the goal. It's going to land in the hand of Davis. Davis takes a very strong mark, plays on immediately. Long hand pass across to his long-time teammate Sam Jacker. And Jacker neatly down the line, looking for a teammate. Can't quite hold the ball. Taps it back into the middle of the advantage for Brent McLeod. And he kicks the ball directly across the ground and finds a teammate in Ugis. He kicks down the line, and Hodgson has done a very good job to make position. Neat little kick from him into the middle of the ground. Finds a teammate there. Thomson holding onto the ball very well. Another neat kick down the line. Teammate can't quite hold the ball. There's Plant was unfortunate then. Head over the ball, coming at him hard was Danny Allen. He's going to take the free kick. He drops into the centre of the ground, and Muir dropping down from defence. Takes the mark right in the centre of the ground. A long kick from him down to centre half forward, looking for Costello. He actually finished up roving the pack. He was the only one that from Bellpost Hill underneath that ball. He has a quick snap at goal, but it bounces through for one behind only. 2-5-17, the Panthers. Thomson 2-1-13. The Eric Nichols Memorial clock says 22 and 40 seconds.
Here's another bloke I never spoke about before the game. Jackson McLeod's injured. He'll have to come back into at some point. He's doing the running there, or the water boy. He's great for that, you know. He just puts into the club if he's injured or not. So hopefully we'll see him back very, very shortly.
So Sam Jacker now doing the kicking in duties. He decides to play on from the goal square. He goes out wide. And far side of the ground, ball out towards the half-back line. Picked up there. Costello got the handball away. We'll call it a handball away. Goes to Harmer. Bustles his way in and out. Was taken high, then dropped the ball. So the umpire says it's going to be a turnover. Gardner decides to take the advantage and goes into the middle of the ground. McNamara placed himself well. Couldn't take the mark. It's picked up there in the middle of the ground. Cam, I think it is. He's tackled, brought to ground. And the ball's not going to come out there. Umpire said he's been pinged there for not incorrect disposal or no disposal. And Jack Yates, the recipient of the free kick. So beside the centre circle, he decides to load up and he goes long into the pocket. Will Ford on a lead.
Good
and
mark.
That's a good pair. Oh, it's actually Dylan Whitney.
It's Dylan Whitney, yeah.
Yeah, so right side for a left footer and not without any chance here.
Oh, he's a real chance here. I'm going to back him in from here just about.
Distance, no problem at all.
Distance, no problem. Accuracy when the wind might be, but he's
Left-hand
a fantastic player.
Left-hand post grub, that's what he's named for.
Just
Ball
swing
will do the
back
rest.
a little bit.
Yep.
I think he's right.
So Whitney from that position kicks long. He started at narrow and it's going to finish that
narrow.
way. So through for another minor score.
He no good, Whitney.
2-6 they are Belpost Hill, 2-1 to Thomson, and 20 minutes gone first quarter. Buckley's Entertainment first quarter scoreboard.
Just look around.
We're not quite sure if we can trust the new app, but it tells me that East Geelong are 2-3-15, Belmont Lions 1-1-7, and the other scorers there is North Geelong 1 point, Corio yet to score, but we'll double check that.
So again, Jacker decides to play on. He runs now and kicks long and kicks low. Only as far as the half-back line, picked up by Harmer again. Ball comes out in the tackle, picked up by one of his teammates there, and it was actually O'Halloran that had the ball. Transfers the ball to Whitney. Whitney went back into the middle of the ground looking for James. Wants to get back on his right foot. Does so now. Got the handball away. Put Whitney under a bit of pressure, but he's able to go back and collect it again.
Hello, he's pulled a free kick out here.
And the ball goes quickly into the half-forward line. The mark has been taken. And we're going to have a shot for a goal. Umpire let it go. Looks like Chris Daniel. And he's going to kick from it just on the 50-metre line. And again, I don't think the distance will be any problem. And Belpost Hill, to say they need another goal right now is an understatement. So,
well, in the end, 8 shots to 3. They probably should be further in front, and that doesn't augur well for the next. The next quarter, we'll just see how good Thomson are, won't we? When they got the win and how they use it.
So Danielle comes in now, and as I said, kicks from right on 50. Distance is not a problem, and by the look of it, the umpire says that will be okay as well, and it's through for another major score. So they're 3-6 now, Belpost Hill. Thomson on 2-1, and 26 minutes gone first quarter.
And I tell you what, that's the thing lacking in today's football, not just at our level, but at league football. A bloke takes a mark, he's 45 to 50 out, they go back, even 35 to 40 out, they go back, they line up, and 90% of them miss these days. I don't know what you need in this football is somebody to take that mark, go back, and be confident that he'll kick it like that and kick it every time. Because that's what's lacking in football today. Set shots today, they're terrible. They're nothing like they used to be in the old days. It's the only part of the game that's not up to scratch.
So it looks like Bernie doing the ruck work now. Bernie goes up against Cam. Ball comes out. Again, picked up. It wasn't picked up there. Ball runs free.
Free kick.
Picked up by Jamie. He's brought to ground, but the free kick's already been given to Staggard. So Staggard now plays on quickly, goes out wide. Muir. Oh, that was a half volley. I would have loved to see that on the replay, mate. That was definitely grass underneath that. He goes quickly into the forward line, but Davis, well positioned, takes the mark. He will steady things down for Thompson.
Defensive side, centre back in the middle here. That probably could have been a free.
So the ball comes out now in the hands of Sheedy, and he's looking to deliver the ball back towards centre wing. Over the top it comes, and Benny Muir comes up from behind and takes the mark once again.
Pretty reliable.
Yeah, been good. The run machine now plays on again. He's able to get good ground before the umpire calls play on. Goes in long, and again Davis just floating across, reads it well. Goes by hand. Ball comes into the hands this time of O'Halloran. He goes short. That kick wasn't so good. Put his teammate under Peter pressure. Belpost Hill win possession. Or actually, they had it and lost it. Again, Cam goes back after it once again on hands and knees. Picked up by Amy. He's got the handball out. Again, Harmer over the top. Brought down in the tackle. Umpire's got to come in and will take possession at the true centre-half forward position. Belpost Hill, their attacking end.
Right on the 50-metre arc, directly in front. Belpost Hill in attack. Umpire just waiting to see everything's all good. Jordan Cam again gets a little left hand onto it. It's tapped down and coming out towards Thomson. They kick it down the line looking for Green. Green hasn't got his hands on the ball yet for the Thomson side. Very cleverly kicked forward by Andrews for Belpost Hill. His teammate can't get it and it was going to be out of bounds on the half-forward flank. Quickly we go around the ground. East Geelong 4-3-27, Belmont 1-1. Carrara a goal. North Geelong have had 10 shots already, 2 goals, 8. And Inverleigh and Werribee Central's 1 goal, 1 each. So Cam gets it down. McLeod runs onto it for the Thomson side. Gets it across to teammate there in O'Halloran. He kicks it in the middle of the ground. James, no, it's Vikira for Bellpost Hill tries to get the ball. He can't get away. Players jump all over it, and the umpire has signalled that we're going to have a ball up just this side of the centre square. We're on the pavilion side of the ground here at Thomson. Strong breeze blowing straight down the middle of the ground. Over the back of the pack by Jordan Cam. Finds McLeod again. Can't break free. Dylan Whitney rushes onto the ball. Trusty left foot across the body. Kicks down into the forward pocket looking for his teammate there in Joel Page. He can't take the mark. Battling for the ball on the ground. He's had it for a little while and the umpire has pinged him as Grubby
Siren
correctly pointed out. And there we are, the siren. It's quarter time here at Thomson. Bellpost Hill lead 3 goals, 6-24, but they've kicked with a very strong breeze. Thomson 2-1-13, and I thought a pretty good performance by the Violet Crumbles, Grubby.
Yeah, it was. They really look. The Lynch style of the game is pretty much basic football. When you're against the wind, you run it, and they ran it well. It's fraught with danger first time up because your skills aren't quite ready, and they did turn the ball over a little bit. But unfortunately, Bellpost Hill couldn't really capitalise on it, having 9 shots for goal for 3 goals 6. So, and when they got it up there, Thomson, they had 2 goals 1, which is really what you have to do against the wind because you don't get a lot of those chances. But, you know, a very, very entertaining quarter. We're going to see how good Thomson are now because they'll change their game plan and they'll probably go a little bit longer and we'll see how they go.
So goal figures just before we go to a break is Dan Freeman with 1 and Brent McLeod 1 for Thomson, and for the Bellpost Hill side, Chris Daniel, Nick Costello and Will Ford all with 1 each.
David, back to you in the studio. You're listening to GDFL Football Live from Thomson.
I didn't
telling Mark's reading the play well, but are they going to miss him now that they're going forward?
Well, again, it depends on the options up forward. Now, we haven't seen a lot of Exel, and he looks like he presents pretty well from that forward position. We know Freeman's going to be dangerous once and if the ball hits the ground, so again, the bloke that's going to be minding him now, he's a bloke that can get right up the ground and work hard back down the ground. There are other options up forward at this stage. I haven't seen a lot of them, but Mead Harding looks like he plays permanently up that area of the ground. And it's also one of the big fellas we were talking about earlier on. Who was it, Grubb? Who played a big... O'Halloran, was he playing?
O'Halloran, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be just interesting to see how they structure up, but it's going to be good just to see the delivery aspect going in, whether he changes the delivery from going short and then getting that longer bomb option, or whether he looks to expose players and kick that into the forward line with players leading out the ball.
Yeah. Other interesting one is Sam Green, who was a regular goal kicker at Birregurra, but looks like he's just lacking match practice. He's got near the ball but hasn't got his hands on it at all. But if he can touch it and get a bit of confidence up, he'll be a good target.
I think that'll happen to a few of them. Look, I just jotted down a couple of good players. I think James was a pretty good player that got out a fair few touches. Chris Danielle went all right. Cubby Basley pretty good on his 250th, and congratulations to him for that. And of course Dylan Whitney, he played pretty good too. Davis down back for Thomson was good. Zach Plant was good early. Jordan Cam was very, very good. I thought Josh Cam in the back line saved them a few times, and you wouldn't believe it, because he doesn't get 400 possessions a game anymore. We always forget about McLeod, but he's had 8 touches in the first quarter, which is probably more than anyone on the ground.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job. Well, Dale, it is time to start the second quarter.
The second quarter, brought to you by Buckway's Entertainment Centre.
So about to start things here in the second quarter. As we said, Thomson 2-1-13. Bellpost Hill, they lead 3-6-24. Ball is thrown in the air. Fisher doesn't get the ball down. It was Cam who actually got hands on it. Again, from the middle of the ground, an important clearance is required. Number of players over the ball. No one's willing to give it up, and the ball will go straight back to the umpire. So we'll have the same process to take place. Ball up in the middle of the ground. Ruckman this time both sides. Fisher front position. Cam reaches around. McLeod read it nicely. Picked it up. Barges his way through. Has a runner outside, but decides to kick himself long. And again, into the forward line. Mark not taken. Oh, gee, I thought it had been a free kick then. And the ball is cleared away this time by Andrews. Goes back into the middle, but the mark has been taken. And it's going to go straight back at them. So this is Green. He goes out wide. Well balanced kick. Ball going back. Mark not taken. Picked up by Freeman. Round the corner. And that's what he does well. He doesn't need much of an opportunity, and he will make you pay. So very early in the second quarter, Thomson moved to 3-1. They trail Bellpost Hill 3-6. We've gone less than a minute. Second quarter, Conifine Hotel's second quarter scoreboard.
Well, again, like talking between your backmen during the game, you're right, Freeman takes the best of an opportunity, but the opportunity in that situation should never, ever have come. The two Bellpost Hill boys, I think it was Vasira and Cubby, they actually spoiled each other, knocked each other over, and fell straight into the hands of Freeman. It was like it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Daniel Freeman. But you still got to do the right thing and kick the goal, and that's what he's good at. And Thomson, they're away.
Ball back in the middle.
Sorry.
You're right. Going ball with Staggard, and he will take possession of them, and was tackled. And again, it's going to be back with the umpire again. So the centre circle ball up is going to take place once again. Ball is thrown up. Fisher front position, but Cam round the corner. Picked up this time. Green tries to barge his way through. That was incorrect disposal. He tries to work his way through the contest. Gets through. Got the handball away. Was lucky to last so long with the ball in his hand. Picked up by Harmer. He tries to use his strength. He's tackled. And now we're playing a bit of rugby here, but the umpire decides to pick a free kick out. And the free kick's going to go to Green. So Green has the ball now. Defensive side of centre. Looking at his options. He decides to go short. Well balanced kick. Mark is not taken out there. Bellpost Hill numbers at ground level. Basley. No, it's not. It's Whitney goes outside. Over the top. Handball goes to Fantella. Haven't called him much in the game so far. Nice to get him involved in it. Kick into the forward line was poor. And the ball runs over the boundary line and will be thrown just outside their forward 50.
I tell you who I haven't seen, you haven't called much, is the boy from Hamilton. Young Quinny.
No, we're not at all. Notice that Paul Lynch has put Sam Green into the sort of the middle at the start of that quarter. He's had 3 touches already, so that might be just what he needs to get going. Fisher and Cam again gets it down to the front of the pack. Kick quickly forward by Bellpost Hill. Costello almost runs on, couldn't quite take the mark. Running on to the ball there for Bellpost Hill is Joel Page. He can't get away, and we're going to have a ball up.
If he was lucky,
free kick.
I was going to say, if he was lucky, so it's a different blow, but I thought Cozzy might have got one for holding, but he's picked one up after he's blown the whistle, I think.
Quick hand pass across to Dylan Whitney, but the trusty left foot has failed him for one of very, very few times, and he's kicked it out on the full in the forward pocket, and the ball will go back to Thomson. They've got it deep in their back pocket, kicking with the breeze this quarter. They're only 5 points out. That's a shocking kick into the middle of the ground. Goes across to Hodgson. He gets it to Plant. Plant across to Jordan Cam. His long right foot kick down the line, looking for a teammate there, but coming through is basically for Bellpost Hill. Beautiful bit of play there from Thomson by Mead. Harding kicks the ball forward, but just miss it. A magnificent job to intercept that. Ran onto the ball beautifully, but has missed with a quick kick at goal. Thomson go to 3-2-20. Bellpost Hill 3-6-24. We're 4 minutes into the second quarter.
And it's the commentator's curse too. When you see magnificent play like that, you just want to go up and go, what a great guy, and he damn well missed it.
So from the fullback position, the ball was brought out by Andrews. He comes club room side, Bain, front position. There was someone being held out of the contest. It was actually Davis who was held Fisher out, but he won the free kick. And Davis now just a little bit further up the ground than he was prior to that in last quarter. He's now inside their forward 50. He brings himself a bit of a chance here, especially with the advantage of that extra ground. That's a nice-looking kick going back towards the goal. Floating through. Marcus not taken out there by Green. Ball runs through his hands and through for a minor score. So Thomson now to 3-3. And Bellpost Hill in 3-6. The ball is brought in quickly from the full-back position. They go out wide to the back pocket. And the mark has been taken out there. So they settle things down. Little short kick further afield, McNamara. So this is what Bellpost Hill can do also. So Thomson will need to man this up. They go out wide again. That kick wasn't good, and the ball goes out of bounds in the full.
Again, you're right. That's their specialty, the way they hold onto the footy.
So they go back quickly into the forward line. Great kick, and McLeod has taken a mark, diving forward in the forward pocket.
I reckon he hurt himself too. Yeah. He nearly winded himself.
Took a fair divot from the ground too, so it must be a bit softer out there. It usually is on that side of the ground. And again, this kick is well within the capabilities of this bloke, and he will go back and shoot for goal. So Brent McLeod has one for the afternoon. Kicks at goal. He likes it as soon as they come off the boot, straight through the middle. He has got his second goal of the afternoon, and Thomson now their fourth. They move to the lead. They're 4-3. They lead Bellpost Hill on 3-6. Almost 6 minutes gone. Come on to Fiend Hotel, second quarter scoreboard.
I tell you what, when he goes forward, he's the bloke you look for, McLeod, because his skills are probably high and above everybody that plays in the GDFL. Remember when he's first stint here, he was the best player in it by a long, long way. And all right, he's put a little bit of weight on and he's taken a little bit of weight off. And as I said before, people say, oh, well, he's not getting 400 possessions, so he's not playing that well. But he's still playing good football. And that's a beautiful kick for goal. Never, ever, ever was it going to miss.
Grubby, we're going to rely on your jungle drums because I think the apps failed us around the ground. So Fisher gets it down for Bellpost Hill into the path of Sabile. He gets it across to Whitney. Whitney's left foot a lot more trustworthy there. Kicks long into the forward line. Ford does a very good job to break free. Can't get away from a second tackle.
Off the ground.
Barely out and kicked off the ground by Danielle to finish it off. And that is a great team goal from three hard-working forwards up there, starting with Big Will Ford, who made the first contest and kept the ball in play. So a very important goal against the floater, Will Ford, for Bellpost Hill. They are 4 goals. 3-27, Bellpost Hill 4-6-31. They rest the lead back.
Well, they made the golden mistake you should never make. I know Will Ford's a good player, but 3 of them went to Will Ford. Right? Yeah, at best you're 2 to go to Will Ford, and the other one goes to the bloke sitting in the goal square. And they left him sitting on his own, and he said thank you and put it straight through.
Ball back in the middle of the ground, tapped out, cleared away, and this time it was Hadgood that kicked the ball.
Freeman!
Ends up in the hands of Freeman, and he goes.
He'll go from there, Freeman!
Don't worry about that, Grubby. You've already called it. It's gone through for another major, and Thomson Bar back in front. They are now 5-3. They lead. Yes, they do. They lead Bellpost Hill on 4-6, and we've gone 7 minutes, second quarter.
God, how much we've missed this kid. When he went down with that knee, I thought, and I spoke to him last year. He said, and he came back and played through the seconds, and he wasn't fit. And when I saw him in that side, I thought, well, you little beauty, because we might see something special here today. And at the moment, that's exactly what we're doing. He hasn't had the possession of the other players, but if he keeps doing this, what he's doing, he might be going to the Yards Hotel.
Yes, indeed. They are still the sponsors for the Player of the Day and the Match of the Day on 94.7 The Pulse. But you're listening to Thomson 33, Bellpost Hill 30. We are 8 minutes into the second quarter. Jordan Cam goes up once, goes up twice, gets a secondary whack on the football, comes into the path of a teammate there, but Dylan Whitney intercepts for Bellpost Hill, gets it across to a teammate in Baseley. He gets it quickly across towards teammate in Flacavento, kicks down in the wing, and coming out to take the mark is Joel Page for Bellpost Hill. Kicks down the line, and they're taking a mark. Another teammate gets it neatly into the middle of the ground, and we're finding he's got Sable. Sable kicks into the forward line. It's helping Thomson more. It's up, giving them plenty of time. The defenders come through. Well, it was a very good tackle. Couldn't quite pin it. The ball comes out the back of the pack. Forward again. Gets it across to Danielle. He has a quick kick. Can't get it away. Stacks on the mill in the forward pocket, and we're going to have a ball up. But again, those Thomson Bellpost Hill forwards working really, really hard together to try and make every opportunity a winner here. 3 points down. We're coming up to 9 minutes into the second quarter. Bellpost Hill in attack. Comes out of the back of the pack. Kick across the body by, I think it's Page there. Goes through for one behind only. To the Panthers. They move to 5-3. 33 Bellpost Hill. Sorry, Thomson 5-3. Bellpost Hill 4-7. They're 2 points behind. Kicking against the breeze. Out comes Jacker, beautiful long kick down on the wing. He's looking for Exel, can't quite hold the ball. Green runs onto it for Thomson, gets a second go at it. Quick hand pass to Exel. Exel's caught, he gets it across to a teammate. Can't break away. Kick off the ground by Costello, doesn't clear the pack. Kicked across but tackled out of bounds right in front of the Thomson coach's box. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 9.5 minutes in, Thomson 2 points up.
Ball will be thrown back in on the half-forward centre wing position. In front, Fisher. Ball comes out. McLeod read that nicely. Got through the contest. Looks forward. Goes long into the forward line. Coming out. Mark not taken. It's picked up there, and Harding's done nicely. Got the handball out of Exel. Exel goes outside into the hands there of Mitch Hodgson. Hodgson got the handball back to Exel. He puts it on the left boot. Goes back into the long, into the goal square. Ball at ground level. Picked up, cleared away. Little kick by Fantella's okay. Gets him out of trouble. Flacavento runs onto the ball. He picks the ball up. Has support. Needs to get it away. Ooh, I don't know what the umpire's going to call there. Umpires let it go. And again, they're working pretty hard. Flacavento went back and collected it. Over the top to Baseley. Baseley to Yates. Got the runners outside, but decides to go by foot. And the mark has been taken centre wing. This time by Page. So Page now. Defensive side, centre wing. Steadies things down for Bellpost Hill. They'll play the short game. They do that. They go along the boundary line. Coming up, Costello put the ball in his hand, but then dropped it.
Who's that down in the middle,
Not too sure. Not too sure who it is. I think it's Bernie. I think might have got it. Bernie or Jones. Ball back inside. Goes to Cam. Cam now gets the ball. Delivers it, and he will go long into the goals. It's a nice looking kick. Jack Flacavento went back. Should have been a free kick. Player didn't go at it. That's Bernie back in the goal square, so it must have been young kid number 12 in.
He was Andrews, yeah.
Josh Andrews, so it was from
ball
St.
has run
Mary's.
through for a minor score to the Thomson side, and that will move them to 5-4. They lead Bellpost Hill on 4-7. 11 minutes gone, second quarter.
Matt James has the ball for Bellpost Hill from the kick out. Again, kicks long down the line, coming out to take a very strong mark on his chest is the captain of the club, Jack Yates. A neat little ball over the top looking for Page, but he can't get hold of it. Ford gets it across towards his teammate in...
Stayard.
Yes, there's going to be a free kick there. James running past, gets the ball, neatly kicks it forward, but coming out to take a relieving mark for Bellpost, for Thomson is Ugis. Ugis kicks across the ground and finds Plant. Plant's just waiting for a better option. A nice little kick down the line through the hands of Hodgson. Gets it to Flacavento for Bellpost Hill. Kicks forward looking for and finding Will Ford. And Ford he's outside of the 50s, well outside his kicking range, looking for options. Hand pass inside to James. James runs around the man on the mark now. Kicks long towards goal. The wind gets it, drags it around into the forward pocket. Thomson slap it through for a defensive behind. Bellpost Hill go to 4-8-32. Thomson a 5-4-34. We're 12 minutes and 20 seconds into the second quarter. Sam Jacker has the ball, runs over the 10-metre line and then kicks long down. He's made centre wing with that kick. Forward goes up the back, but Sam Green now starting to get his hands on the ball and a bit of confidence. Takes a very strong mark the front of the pack. Plays on quickly. It's a horrible, horrible kick, but almost effectively comes out towards Page, kicks in the middle of the ground, finds James. James hand passes to Baseley. Baseley drops the ball after being very cleverly tackled by Amy. Amy Nishimanana.
Have a banana.
First game for the Thomson side. He hand passes to Plant. Plant gets his kick away in the nick of time, looking for Exel, but it goes over his head and out of bounds in the forward pocket, about 20 metres around from the point post. And we've got Thomson in attack.
That was dangerous.
2 points in front, kicking with a very strong breeze, attacking into their forward line.
Steelworks is out enough. He wants to play his music, I think.
I think he does. Bell Post Hill player grabs the ball, but he's tackled quickly. We'll have a ball up now to follow that boundary throw in.
I've got to say, Rob, Saturday afternoons when I'm working, Steely's music just makes the day more bearable. It's fantastic.
He's got a lovely taste in music.
Yeah, my word, he has.
Hand pass over the back. It's Matt James. He's trying to evade tackles. Gets it across to a teammate. Quick kick. That was Vakir Vaserka, and it's gone out on the full. And
hello, mate.
The free kick will be taken by number 23 there for Thomson. It's Charlie Donahue. He kicks ball into the square, but over the back of the pack. Touch through one behind only. So it's getting closer now. Thomson, further apart, I should say. Thomson a 5-5-35. Bell Post Hill 4-8-32. We're 14.5 minutes into the second quarter.
They're holding on a bit, aren't they? They hold on like this, we're going to have a great second half.
Yep. Basically now with the ball, again, chips to the pocket for Seeker. He takes the ball and again will look to go round the boundary line. As soon as he left the boot, you knew where that was going, straight over the boundary line. So it's going to go back quickly into the forward line for the Thomson side.
That's a couple of times they've done that. That's very, very un-Bell Post Hill-like, Smithy.
Just not too sure who's taking the free kick. Davis looks like he wants to take it. Harding says, give it to me and I'll have a crack at it. But Davis is going to win the possession. And again, this is where it's good with his advantage. That's a lovely little kick off the boot.
Look at that for a
put
kick.
one straight through the middle. Paul Davis has got his first of the afternoon, and now the 6 for the Thomson side. They're 6-5. They lead Bell Post still on 4-8. 15 gone. Commonwealth Hotel second quarter scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, he's another one in contention for the best on the ground. His backline play in the first quarter was fantastic, and believe it or not, he's still playing on the backline. He's just wandering down and having a shot at goal. So he's gone back to the back line now. He's putting in a sterling performance today. And as a matter of fact, he's always been a good player. Sometimes he plays not so good and he drops the head a little bit. But I tell you what, he's come out here today, good football, and he's put Thomson in front again. And I think he's been fantastic.
Back in the middle of the ground, Jordan Cam's done a sterling job in the ruck. He and Fisher have been going at it pretty much every time. Fisher this time gets it, but McLeod roves it, gets a quick left foot kick, but not too far away. Coming onto the ball there over the back of the pack, it's young Kerslake. He kicks forward for Thomson. Oh, spilling the mark in the forward pocket there for Bell Post Hill, unfortunately, is Andrews. Ball bobbling away in the forward pocket, not going anywhere. The umpire's going to be forced to come in and ball it up. We're about 20 metres around from Thomson's goal. We're on the outer side of the ground. They're kicking with a fairly strong breeze. They've got themselves out to a 9-point lead, and we're 16.5 minutes into the second quarter. Fisher's left hand puts it down in front of the wrong player. That is definitely not what he wanted. And that's Harding. Mead Harding, whose left foot snap has got Thomson further. That was a unfortunate or brilliant bit of roving, whatever you like to call it. Unfortunate ruck work, good roving. What do you put that down to, Grubby?
Well, I'll tell you what I'll put it down to, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with Fisher. There's no way known in the world you can line up at a bounce like that and have a no-one goal side of the bounce. Right, you have to have 1, 2, or even 3 players. If the ball gets knocked out the other way, it's a hard goal to kick. But if the ball gets knocked out to goal side of the pack, 99% of the time, if it's snagged by the opposition, it will be a goal. So that's their player's fault at the foot of the ball.
So back in the middle we go. This time coming, Quinn couldn't take clean possession. He goes back and wins possession. Got the handball away to Muir. Muir, a little short kick, nice kick. Page leads up, takes the mark, looking to go. He's good looking at his options now. Decides to go straight down the ground. High kick again, made it hard for Ford. Under position. Oh, actually, that was not a bad mark.
That's
I think
a mark.
Yates.
That's a great mark.
Yates that went back with the fly to the ball. No, yes.
Yeah, Jack Yates, I reckon.
Yeah, it is. And
Geez, that was a good mark.
yes, nothing. Didn't even worry about what was coming at him.
Nah.
Just went back with the flight, and he has taken a mark.
Without being that tall, he just blinked his way with strength into position and took a fantastic mark.
So Yates will kick from about 30, and he's pretty close to directly in front. But again, back into the breeze, a little bit of a task ahead of him. He needs to kick the captain's goal here. Steps up. Nice looking kick off the boot. Umpire does not move. So Jack Yates has done what they needed, and that's kick a goal. They're 5-8 now. Trail Thomson 7-5. 18 minutes gone. Second quarter, Conifine Hotel, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, not only was a great mark, it was a wobbly old kick, but it was a goal they dearly needed just to keep themselves in touch. They don't want to go into half-time too far down. So if they can, when Thomson kick one, if they can kick one back and keep themselves within those couple of goals, it gives them a chance to go out in the third quarter and try and build a lead when they've got the win. They'll have to play better in the third than they did in the first, but I think when the rust is gone and they get into things, I think that'll happen. So they've got to keep in touch with Thomson right at the minute.
Back in the centre, Fisher and Jordan Cam going at it again. Fisher up early. He gets a secondary hand on it, comes over the back of the pack for Thomson getting the ball. There was Jack Sheedy, but he's going nowhere.
I'll tell you what, Rob. Jordan Cam was fantastic early. Fisher's starting to work his way into the game a bit.
He definitely is. Another tap to Fisher there, again going nowhere. His teammate grabs the ball neatly but is dragged to the ground, and we're still in the centre, just fractionally outside of the circle. Still haven't gone anywhere. Zach Plant last up with the ball for Thomson. Fisher and no one really got a tap to the ball there. It's coming forward. McLeod gets it forward for Thomson. Quick kick out of the pack, but neatly marked there by Sam Jacker, the umpire. He's marked it under a fair bit of pressure. And there's a bit of angst as Jacker drags himself up off the floor. Still has ball in hand. He's been handy today without being his normal superb self. He's marshalling the troops there in the back line. The former coached the club last year. So Sam Jacker now long, raking right foot drop punt down the middle of the ground. It lands on the chest of the trusty Muir.
That's a bloody shocking kick, that is. He's done it a couple of times, Sammy.
Kicked into space, but not really to the advantage of his team at all. Kerslake late on the scene, and I think that's Page there, is it? Looking for a bit of an advantage, but
trying to get a 50.
Trying to get a 50, but he's not going to get one. So Page for Belpost Hill. Just waiting now, forced to play. A quick kick across the body, down the wing. A nest of players there, punched away in the middle of the ground. McLeod gets it very quickly. Hand passes out to a teammate who gets it across to Zach Plant, who's done a really good job today, but that's not such a good kick. McNamara drops a relatively simple mark, paddles the ball along the boundary line, and out of bounds. You mentioned McNamara not being super fit. He hasn't really got himself into the game at all, Grubby.
Well, that's pretty ominous, because have you ever seen Bo McNamara drop a mark chest mark like that? Never, ever in his career. So he's a bit worried about his injuries. Don't worry about that.
So it's Green again this time, and Fisher. Fisher gets his hand on the ball, trying to get it towards a teammate, and Sable, he can't break clear of the pack. Players jumping on it, wobbles out the back of the pack, but again, Flacavento, he can't get away. He's forced over the boundary line. And the game's got a bit scrubby just in the last couple of minutes, but I imagine by this stage of the game, Dale, they'll be starting to get tired.
Yes, it'll take them a little bit of time to get their fitness levels up, but nothing like playing a game of football. Ball and the ruck contest comes out. It's cleared away. Belpost still look like they were going to clear it away, but there's been a free kick given, and it's to Dill Whitney, but I'm not too sure what it was for. Maybe high, but it's a little short kick again. Goes out wide. Vasika takes the mark. Just outside there forward, defensive 50. And he's now looking to transfer play towards centre wing. Another short kick goes up the middle. Yates can't take the mark. Picked up by McLeod. Goes over the top. Ends up in the hands of Plant. Goes back towards teammate. It goes into the forward line. Flacavento read that nicely. Got intercepted the ball. Fisher picked it up. Got the handball away. McNamara under a little bit of pressure now. Needs to get the ball out of the defensive. Amy's there. He can't pick the ball up either. Belpost still. Whitney over the top. Umpire will come in and take possession. Still inside the forward 50 for Thomson. So another opportunity here. Doing some ruck work, O'Halloran now. So O'Halloran doing some ruck work. Fisher's also there. Ball hits the ground, picked up. Handball comes out the back. Handball was okay, actually. Went forward. Mark needs to be taken. Exel didn't take it. Ball is tapped away. Went towards Quinn and also Sheedy. Picked up Amy. Got the handball away. Backwards to Habgood. He gets the handball back towards Freeman. Ball goes over the boundary line, and we're going to have another throw-in to take place.
It's 5-7-47. Thomson 5-8. 7-5-47 to 5-8-38. We're 23 almost minutes into the second quarter. Fisher gets it over the back of the pack, but Sheedy's grabbed high for Thomson, and he will take a free kick. The man on the mark is almost on the 50-metre line. I don't know if the young fella fancies himself, but he'll need to kick it 56 metres to clear the pack for a goal, and he's attempting to do that.
I don't think so.
Kicks it long into the square. It's fading across to the left. Green is there, and Green takes a very, very strong mark, relatively uncontested, immediately plays on and kicks the 8th goal for Thomson, and that sneaks them out to a 15-point lead now, just past the 23-minute mark. Good kick by Sheedy to get at the right spot, but surprised that Green was able to take the ball relatively uncontested, Grubby.
Well, the reason was because they didn't pick him up. He was standing there on his own, and by the time the bloke kicked it and it was in the air and was going to him, the Belpost Hill defenders realised what was happening, but he had a decided advantage because he knew where the ball was coming. He was looking at the ball, and in the end, the Belpost Hill defender that did get to him had not much of a chance. And really, I think that was a bit of lax defending. They should have had a bloke on him from the start to make it a 50-50 contest right from the start, and that's very un-Belpost Hill-like.
So Cam jumps early, he doesn't take the ball, but it's cleared away there. Whitney has it, got out of the contest.
That's dropping the ball.
Oh, actually, could have maybe caught one a little bit higher first off the
Possibly.
handle. In the hands of McLeod, and he goes long and forward, goes towards Exel. He's in good position, ball runs through the back of the contest and will run over the boundary line and will be thrown in forward pocket position.
This is the danger bells ringing now, Smitty. They must stop Thomson from kicking 1 or 2 more goals, otherwise they're in trouble.
Yeah, goal either way is vital now.
Yes.
So in the forward pocket, we have a throw in to take place. Bernie looks like he's coming on to do some ruck work now, and he'll be up against O'Halloran. Ball comes out of the contest, and it picked up there. Oh, Freeman just off a step, picks up, went back to his goal, but he's brought it around too far.
Dragging.
Through for a minor score. So it's now 8-6 to the Thomson side, and Belpost still on 5-8. We said 25 minutes almost gone. Commonwealth Hotel, second quarter scoreboard.
You missed that one, but you can just see how dangerous he is, don't you?
Doesn't need much of an opportunity,
He's
does he?
just so quick off the mark.
So the ball this time brought in by Andrews. He comes long, clubber inside. Maguire over the top, bangs it back towards the boundary line. So Thomson attempts to set up once again. Player down. Dill Whitney.
He's right.
He's up. So umpire now to restart play. Throws it back in. Bernie front position over the top. Cam gets the ball down. And picked up.
He ducked his head
McLeod tried to force his way through.
But
the umpire's giving him a free kick, so he's got it. So Brent McLeod will go back, and he is going to be shooting for his 3rd goal of the afternoon.
I watched him. You watched him in that contest. As the ball was up, he carefully pushed his bloke out of the way and made a passage for himself. I thought he might have ducked his head a little bit, but hey, you got to protect him. And I'll tell you what, he's a chance for this one too. It's a hard one, but he's a chance.
So McLeod now to kick from right on 50. His 3rd of the afternoon, and
Look
it
at
looks
that.
pretty good off the bench.
Have you seen a better kick than that in a while?
So there it is. Brent McLeod has 3 and Thomson 9. So 9-6 now to the Thomson side. They lead Belpost still 5-8. We have gone 26 minutes, second quarter. Commonwealth Hotel, second quarter scoreboard.
Look, that's the one they didn't want them to get. That's the one that's going to really make them have to play out of their skin in the 3rd quarter, and there's probably still a chance for another one. So they've really got to hold on here, Belpost Hill, but you can't hold on when champions like this bloke do what he just did. And look, I don't like to say it when he's lining up because you don't like to put the moz on him, but you just think, even from out there, he's going to kick this because he's just such a great player.
Back in the middle of the ground now, it's Jordan Cam very neatly gets the ball down for Thomson, but running onto it, Belpost Hill, they can't get away. The umpire's blown the whistle, and he's found that Jack Sheedy has won a free kick for incorrect disposal on Dylan Whitney. Sheedy's come into the game in the last little while, kicks it down, looking for Freeman. He very neatly keeps his man out, grabs hold of the ball.
He's not going to kick this.
With one hand.
He's not going to kick. No, he's missed it.
The umpire, I think that was a goal.
I reckon that's a goal. I reckon that's a goal. Hang on up.
He's got no chance of looking at that.
It looked like a point to me, just knowing where the ball was, but it curved around the post. It just mattered where it was at the time that it went over the top of the post.
Maybe it curved around behind.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, we're 100 metres away, and there's a bloke with a green coat and it was right underneath
Mate,
it.
there's 32 blokes out there that knew it was a goal. Don't you worry about that.
Belpost still kicked the ball back in, coming over, trying to take the mark. There is is Yates for Bellpost Hill. Kicks it forward, coming out strongly. Basely can't get away from the ball there, running on to the ball there, making a quick kick forward for Bellpost Hill is Fantella. And Stacks on the mill again. No, the umpire has found a free kick. It's going Bellpost Hill way.
But he paid over
it's
the
against
shoulder.
Brent McLeod, for over the shoulder, and it's going.
He had the footy.
To Jack Yates.
Must have been a fend off, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yates kicks low, looking for a teammate, but he's missed completely and gone out on the full. Just on centre wing, Thomson have the ball again, and it's Jacker who kicks it very, very long into the forward line. Coming over is for Exwell, but punched away from him by Josh Andrews and will be out of bounds in the forward pocket.
He's had his opportunities, Exel. He's getting to them, but he's just not holding them yet. I think he's going to be a player to watch further on in the year when he gets to know the team and gets to know the GDFL way of football.
So where did he come from?
Oh, I forget now.
Quick kick out of the pack by, I think it was Maguire, gone out of bounds, and Bellpost Hill will take the free kick in the forward pocket. Thomson a 9.7.61. Bellpost Hill 5.8.38. We're almost 29 minutes into the second quarter. Just gone past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's feeling like it wants to rain. Very cloudy. Wind blowing coolish from the south, straight down the middle of the ground.
They said late, Rob. Well, you said it this morning on the radio. You should know.
Yeah,
the weather.
I think it's like a bento now with the ball back pocket, so they're going to steady things down. Bellpost Hill, they can't afford to give another one away, so he needs to come out long, and that's what he's going to do. Bring the ball back out, goes long, out towards centre wing. Costello up over the top, and it was Yates in front. He's taken the mark. So now just a bit of control, I would think, from here on in. They go long and down the line. Kick.
There's Thomson blokes everywhere.
This is Mitch Sheedy. He's got the ball, so maybe one last flurry. We've had a few goals in the quarter, so it may go that little bit longer. He decides to go straight down the line, back towards Flacavento. He taps it away into the hands there of James, got the handball away, into the hands of Ford, and he lines up and goes longer into their forward line. Ball over the back, Uji's over the top, got the smother away, went back and collected it at ground level. Little chip forward, missed his target, out the back, goes towards Freeman and Vasika. Vasika can't pick it up, Yates did though, went back towards Basely. He looks up and he decides to go long, back towards centre wing. Gee, Thomson with numbers, ends up in the hands of Danielle, goes over the top to Page, needs to get out of the contest. Couldn't do so, picked up by Jacker, handballs over the top, missed his first target, missed the second target, going through Burney, he picked it up, didn't take the ball with him. Vasika goes in, he's tackled, brought to ground, umpire will come in and he will take possession of the ball.
I think he's got to go to Specsavers for Circa. He bumped out Cubby before and he just went to tackle Jack Yates then a minute ago. He went to tackle him.
So the ball now thrown up by the umpire. Late chance here, as we said, back in the forward line for Thompson's side. Picked up Burney, goes back towards centre wing. Danielle can't take the mark. Has a 2-on-1 situation to work with against him. He taps the ball.
Oh, look out, look out,
the boundary
look out,
line.
look
Umpire
out.
says we're going
yes!
to deliver it.
And I tell you what, I think it's there. I don't hate the rule, but I think it's there.
Wire chips the ball in, goes towards Plant. Plant plays on now. Low kick goes towards McLeod. Dives, takes the mark. Too far out this time, Grove. He can't kick it from there.
No.
Even with the advantage rule. Little chip over the top, short, and that will be okay. Mark is taken.
No, he's off. He went over the mark.
The umpire's called it, and in the hands of James. So James now got the hand. Was going to give the handball, put himself into trouble, got the handball away. Ends up there in the hands of Will Ford. He's tackled, brought to ground, and that's a good tackle by O'Halloran.
He's going to get hold of the ball here.
Yes, free kick, Thomson. O'Halloran now, he's got the ball. Long kick will be the order of the day. He decides.
Oh, that's down the ground up. That's down the ground up.
He's going to pay that too.
Yes, that's down the ground. Little bit late. No dirtiness in it or whatever, but a little bit late.
So Exel's got the ball in his hand. His chance to kick his first goal of the afternoon.
Well, this will help this kid. He's come across from Leopold. He's getting to contest, not quite, as I said before. A goal here, I reckon, would lift his confidence no end.
And in relation to Gavin Exel?
Yes, it's his son.
Is he? Well, there you go.
It's his son.
Well, it looks like him.
Yeah, it's
I was going
his
to say
son.
the blonde hair, but said he's not a left footer. He's a right footer. Doesn't matter. He comes in, steps, kicks towards goal. And I think he's got it.
Yeah, he's got this one.
And they have another one for
Maybe.
the quarter.
Yes.
The 10th goal for Thomson. They move to 10-7. Bellpost still on 5 goals, 8. And we have gone just over 30 and a half minutes. Second quarter coming off in Hotel. Second quarter scoreboard.
Just a little bit of frustration there. He gave him a bump. It wasn't that late either, but it was late enough. I called it. It was late enough. I think he was frustrated about the free kick because was there enough prior opportunity? And I don't think it was. They tackled him pretty quick and brought him to the ground, and he couldn't get it out. But that's not the rule. He didn't drag it in. And I'm not sure he did have the prior opportunity. He got a bit frustrated, a bit of a bump, just too late, and that's cost him a goal.
Back in the middle of the ground, Jordan Cam, a little right hand on the ball. His teammate running onto it there is Plant. Yes, who's played very well. I was going to say there's a man whose career's been rejuvenated. He's played a good game today.
He played a ripping game.
Cam again, a right foot, very, very effective handball, gets it down, but coming through is Yates for Bellpost Hill. Has an ugly kick, and it's landed on the other side of the ground with Hodgson. Hodgson kicks long. No, it's the other Cam actually. Longs down towards Exel. He can't hold the mark. Coming out the back of the pack and relieving for Bellpost Hill is Andrews. He hand passes away, but can't get it to James. Coming through and clearing the ball now is Flacavento across to Andrews again. Ball smothered, and the siren has gone to end the second quarter. Thomson's 10 goals, 767. Bellpost Hill 5-8-38. Second quarter action here. GDFL match of the day. Goal kickers, Dale.
Goal kickers to this stage of the game, 3 each to Dan Freeman and to Brent McLeod, 1 each to Mead Harding, Exel, Green, and for the Bellpost Hill side, 2 to Danielle, 1 to Yates, Costello and Ford. As we said, 10-7, 67 to 5-8-38. Half time here. Take a short break. When we come back, Grubby will go through first half action. You'll listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
football action. The match of the day, only on 94.7 The Pulse.
All right, let's get back down to the ground now.
Yes, we are back down at the ground at Thomson, where they lead 10-7-67. Bellpost Hill 5-8-38, and a bit of a surprise. Bellpost Hill have had enough of the ball to probably be better than that, but Thomson, probably with Daniel Freeman being the exact opportunity of taking their opportunities, and he's kicked 3 goals. Brent McLeod also 3, and Grubby, they've got a break that they shouldn't get rid of now, but are you surprised a little bit by the difference?
Well, Grubby's just on the phone grabbing some half-time scores, so that's all right, Rob, so I'll take over for the short time. Yeah, look, at a stage, it was probably right until about the last 5 or 7 minutes of the quarter that Thomson decided to get on their bike and kick some late goals, which really stretched that margin out now. There's a bit of a task here for the Bellpost Hill side. That wind seems to have dropped off just a little bit, so they can get themselves back into the contest and kick 2 or 3 early goals. They will give themselves a chance, but again, they'll have to change the way they brought their ball into their forward line in that first half, because it wasn't too good. They seemed to just kick the ball long and expect their forwards to take the marks, and that wasn't happening today. No Timmy Barton down there, and it put a bit of pressure on Will Ford, but I know Grubbs just brung around and got some scores, so we're just...
While he's doing that, I'll just checking on the new AFL Barwon app. GFL scores: Grovedale 34, South Barwon 37, St Mary's 63, St Albans 9, Bell Park 34, Newtown 50. They're the only scores we've got through at this particular stage, and I'll just touch on the Bellarine ones, and then again, not all of them are through, but an early score, Drysdale with 3-1. Barwon Heads hadn't scored. Ocean Grove 5 points. Torquay 5-35, and Queenscliff 41 to Newcombe 31. But at this stage, we don't know whether they're half time, sometime in the second quarter, or not at all. But Grubby, what have you found? No, he's not ready yet.
Yeah, no,
he's just about organised. We're going to introduce the second quarter because the umpire's in the middle of the ground with the ball.
The third quarter, brought to you by De Grandy's Sports and Cycles.
It is the De Grandy Sport and Cycle third quarter here at the Thomson Reserve. Grubby's just got the
they better get this
back
up
on.
running. It's too hard.
So the ball back in the action now, and it's Whitney from the middle of the ground. The ball goes back towards Cam, picked up there, goes out wide by Plant. Plant goes towards centre wing in front. Mark is not taken. Ball hits the ground, picked up, handball away from Green. Goes back to Cam, and he's got the ball out wide, so players now chase after the ball. It's back to Dylan Whitney, picks the ball up. Nice quick hands, goes back into the hands of Costello, and he goes long back into their forward line. That's a great kick. Will Ford out. Was interfered with, but the umpire says it was okay. There's going to be a ball to take place. Maguire a bit sluggish getting up out of that contest himself, and he did nice to defend that ball. Umpire on the forward 50, just about to throw the ball back in, and does so now. Fisher takes the back position. Jordan Cam front, ball comes out the front, Yates on hands and knees, gets the ball out, ends up in the hands there of Page, who puts the ball back on the right boot, goes back in, positions himself nicely, is Sam Jacker, and he'll take the mark for the Thomson side and relieve a little bit of pressure. So he's now got the ball and he decides to go back to where it came from. In front, Whitney, mark not taken, picked up at ground level. Fantella looked like he had his hands on it, couldn't pick it up cleanly, ends up in the hands of Plant, went out the back door, was picked up by Sheedy, and he was tackled by Yates, and both players into the sign, both get up, which is good, and the umpire to come in and restart play from that position once again. So Fisher now again, Cam up over the top. Ball picks up, Yates looks to get the handball out, does so, but only as far as Uji's. He picks the ball up, gets the handball out, ends up in the hands there of Plant once again. His kick forward was pretty ordinary. Went to Baseley on hands and knees, feeds the ball out, picked up out there, and tackle is laid. Umpire said he didn't get rid of the ball correctly, and that was Exel, and the free kick is going to go to Bellpost Hill. Looks like Staggard is the recipient. So Staggard now decides to go long and wide. Kick was okay. Mark again not taken. And the ball comes out in the tackle. Uji's ball. Umpire says it was a throw. So it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to go to the Bellpost Hill side.
Oh, umpire signalled the wrong way. I thought, what's he doing there? But no, it's gone to Belpost Hill, kicked forward and coming across. Oh, can't hold the Marcus Costello. He's been a bit below his best today, but he gets it, kicks it back into the vital spot. Harmer comes over the back of the pack, can't take the mark. Players desperately in there trying to win possession of the ball. Coming out for Thomson and kicking the ball away is Josh Cam into the middle of the ground, but Belpost Hill win possession back. And through the agency of Sable, they have it at true centre half forward, just on the 50-metre arc. The young fella looks like he's backing himself to kick it. He'll need to kick it 55 metres at least. Very tall Jordan Cam is standing in the goal square. He's got to get it over his head as well. So Sable now comes in very deliberately. It kicks long, but it's low. It'll fall short. Fisher comes over the back, but it's gone through. No one's touched it. Well, Jordan Cam is screaming that he's touched it.
It was touched.
So do I.
The umpire's called all clear, though.
The umpire has indeed called all clear. And it is a goal. It stands. And Thomson are not very happy about that at all. Jordan Cam is still gesticulating with the umpire. Is that the word, right word, Grubby?
Yeah, that'll do me. That'll do me.
You've got to give me the meaning of that.
I think if it was me, you wouldn't be calling it gesticulating. But they've had a bit of hard rub of the green, actually, Thomson. One earlier that was a goal we thought called it a point, and I think that one was touched. But the field umpires are doing a great job. Maybe we get the goal umpires to kick up the bum and have a better look, because I think that was touched. I really do.
Yeah, well, we're back in the middle now. Fisher gets the ball out to the running Whitney. He's tackled
that's a
quickly,
sling
hand passes
tackle.
Back
That's a free
towards.
kick.
Should be a free kick.
That hurt him too.
It is Exel who gets the ball forward, but coming out to take a relieving mark is Flacavento for Belpost Hill. He immediately plays on, goes across the ground to take advantage of this breeze as quickly as he can, but he kicks it over the head of his teammate Infantella, and it's gone out of bounds. Half forward flank for Thomson.
So as a result of that sling tackle, it looks like Dylan Whitley might have to leave the field.
A bit sore.
Yeah, you've really got to look after them once.
Yeah, it's not his, doesn't appear to his head. He's limping very badly, so he's landed on his hip, I would suggest.
Yes.
Exel coming through for Thomson. He can't quite get hold of the ball.
He's actually
very
dropped
hard
it as he tried to pick it up.
Umpire says he's had a couple of goes at it, and one of them was illegal, and Vakira has come out quickly, hand pass to James, who does his typical long raking bomb down, comes over the back of the pack. Muir gets in there for Belpost Hill trying to win the ball. Costello
There's a holding the ball here.
Got the ball, and they have going to win a holding the ball. It is Nick Costello who's got the ball against Sam Jacker.
I thought he had it all the time. Maybe he didn't.
And Costello for Belpost Hill quickly chips it down into the forward line, coming out, punching the ball clear for Thomson. Yates is coming hard at the ball for Belpost Hill.
Great bump.
Punched, bumped out of the road there is Sable. He gets it free to a teammate, kicks long into the forward line. Oh, dropped a mark there, the Thomson defender in Ujis. But the umpire says we're going to have a ball up. It's basically right beside the point post. Belpost Hill kicking to the city end. They're trying to make up this gap of 23 points they have with Thomson. It's Cam gets the ball down for Thomson. He can't get away from the pack. Belpost Hill player knocked out of the road there. It's Yates hand passes it across. Oh, very unusual fumble there by McLeod. It falls out of his hand and dribbles over the line for another behind to the Belpost Hill side. They go to 10-8-68. 6-9-45. Thomson 10-7-67. Sam Jacker has the ball for the Tommy Tigers. Wheels onto the right foot, kicks low, and a horrible looking kick into the middle of the ground. And Danielle for Belpost Hill takes the mark. He's just outside the 50. And again, I think he's fancying himself. He's got to kick at 55 at least. No one in the square at the moment. Players working hard to get back. He's put the ball on the ground. Picks it up again and is now coming in for a deliberate set shot. Again, Cam's got himself right beside the goal umpire, and I'm sure he'll be just reminding her that keep an eye on my hand when the ball comes through. That's a wobbly kick out to the right. It's gone over the back of the pack through for one behind only. So Belpost Hill 6-10-46, Thomson 10-7-67, and we are 7 minutes into the third quarter.
So Sammy Jacker now doing the kicking in duties. Decides to play on, and he goes to the far side of the ground. Well, the kick was
Sammy.
also pretty horny. Uji's has made it okay. Picks up on the right boot, goes back towards centre wing. Leading the race for the ball was Muir. The hand was a good clean pick up there, and ends up in the hands of Cam, and he goes into their forward line. McNamara's there, picked up there by Harding. Harding gets the handball back into the hand. Green goes in towards Axel. Good kick, good spoil from behind there. And again, Bell Post still with some numbers back there now to be able to relieve some pressure. Go back towards centre wing. Kick out a bit too much on it. Back to the hands of McLeod.
Look out.
Inside.
Look out.
Lines up, goes long into the goal square, and is going to be rushed through for a minor score. But the umpire said free kick. And it's going to go to Bell Post Hill and Andrews. So Josh Andrews. Last line of defence for Bell Post Hill. Looking clubroom side of the ground, and he decides to bring it out long. Went towards Quinn, ball out the back. Mark not taken, so again, numbers overhead over the ball, and the umpire in very quickly this time, and he will take possession of it. Sable on hands and knees. Umpire just seeing who's around. Umpire throws it up, ball comes down again. Picked up there, Hodgson got the handball away back towards Plant. He can't get it the first time. Fantella went over the top of the ball. He is tackled, and again, umpire to come in and take possession once again.
He had the ball. He didn't actually drag it in, so that's a good decision,
So Bernie doing the ruck work. It's tapped down by O'Halloran. Well read off the contest. James goes long, and it's up in the air. Jacko well situated. He takes the mark and takes off. Put himself under a little bit of pressure. Goes back by hand to Maguire. Maguire goes wide. Kick wasn't great also. It's going to put a little bit of pressure on his teammates. Ball runs over the boundary line in front of O'Halloran, and the ball will have a throw-in to take place.
I'm a little bit worried about James. He's getting enough of the footy, but on this ground, when he kicks it long way, it goes to a 4-on-4. Bit of space at Belpo still, no worries, maybe a 1-on-1. But that was a shocking kick, that one.
So ball thrown down, O'Halloran off the McLeod, and he runs through the contest, comes out the other side. Kick wasn't great going forward towards Harding. Good spoil or bump from Stagger from behind. Tackled by Gardner.
Opportunity up.
And the umpire says there's going to be a throw-in. So we're going to have a ball here to take place.
Again, good umpiring. You could be sucked into giving a hold on the ball free kick there, but with no prior opportunity, that's the decision that should have been made and was. Well done.
So now thrown back in by the umpire once again. Bernie doing the ruck work out the tap. Cam taps it out, goes towards James. He runs onto it once again, loads up and goes long into the forward line. Forward jumps, ball comes out the back. It's running towards the goal square. Will it go through? It is going to be touched and pushed through for another minor score. So we move now 6-11 to the Bell Post Hill side, 10-7 Thomson, and we have gone just on 10 minutes, third quarter to Grandy Cyclone Sports, third quarter scoreboard.
Sam Jacka for Thomson has the ball. They're kicking against the wind this quarter, and he kicks it low, and very handy to his captain, Travis Maguire, who marks about 40 metres out from the goal, still under a great deal of pressure in the Thomson defence. Maguire kicks down the wing, looking for Cam, but he does a very good job to keep his opponent at bay, to allow his teammate in Habgood come out and take a mark for Thomson. Umpire is ushering him on. He hurries the ball, kicks it down, lands just beyond centre wing, punched forward by Jordan. Cam comes to Sam Green. He can't control the ball, gets a second. O'Halloran gets over the back to Hodgson. Hodgson to Jordan. Cam, the big fellow up, forces the ball forward. Coming through is Harding, Mead Harding. He can't get away from the pack, but it wobbles out again. Hodgson gets a second chance at it, but it's near the boundary line. He is forced over by Flacavento, and we'll have a throw in. It's right between the two coaches' boxes, right on the 50-metre arc here at the Thomson Oval. Bell Post Hill kicking with the wind. Thomson pushing towards the southern end of the ground into a fairly stiff breeze. Coming over the back of the pack, Danny L is held. The umpire deemed he had nowhere to go, and we'll have a ball up. Again, still about the 50-metre arc. Thomson into attack. Cam is forced out of the road there, comes over the back to O'Halloran to Plant. Plant neatly kicks the ball forward, coming out and taking a relieving mark for Bell Post Hill is Bo McNamara. He kicks long across the ground looking for Harmer. He can't control the ball. It's a 3-on-1 now, and coming out is Josh Cam for Thomson, and he kicks it neatly into the path of Dan Freeman, the opportunist half forward. He runs around his opponent, quickly plays on, has a snap at goal, and he looks very happy and kicks his fourth for the afternoon.
What's going on there?
That's 4 to Freeman. The umpire was sort of lining him up and he just ran away, which I suppose he's quite entitled to do.
He was talking to the opposition player. So when you do that, you have to call time off if you're going to. Obviously, he was talking to the Belpost Hill player. I thought you would call time off. I don't think you can run around that when you're getting lined up.
No. That was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he's an opportunist, and that was an opportunity he took. And it takes Thomson to 11.7.73, Belpost Hill 6.11.47. We're 12 and a half minutes into the De Grande Cycle and Sport third quarter.
So back in the middle we go once again. Cam doing the ruck work. Bernie, he gets the ball. There's a free kick being given. So Cam wins possession of the ball from the middle of the ground. He decides to go long into their forward line. Goes looking for Green. Ball comes out towards the boundary line. McNamara is going to arrive. Edge support. Picked up there. Quinn didn't have it. Lost it again. Ball goes back. Green picks it up. Tries to use the strength. Gets out of the contest. Does pretty nicely, but the umpire says you had prior opportunity.
He did try and break the tackles, Smithy.
He's going to go to Belpost Hill, and Quinn gets the handball away, straight into the hands there of Danielle. He goes across the ground. Kick has to be good. Costello has to make it good because he's outnumbered. Picked up there, Davis, looking for some options. Got the handball over the top to Plant.
That's a free kick because his tackle dropped to the leg, and that's a fair enough free kick too. Accidental, but that's what it is.
So Davis now with the ball. Still attacking side of their centre line. He decides to go long into the forward line. Who's the target? Out in front, McNamara didn't take possession of the ball. Goes to ground, picked up there. Staggard's over the top. He didn't take possession of the ball either. Muir, Vasika, he's also there. Amy tackles him, brings the ground. And the umpire in now to take possession. Just outside forward 50. So again, Bernie doing some ruck work, taps the ball down, picked up by Green, looked to give the handball away but missed the ball. Umpire says that was incorrect and that was a good decision. Free kick's going to go to Belpost Hill. Jack Yates is the recipient. So round the back goes James. He's ignored. Still looking towards centre wing. Has to be a good kick because Page is there and Jack has also set himself. Ball gets out the back. That hurt Page.
Yeah, it did.
Jump straight into it. Picked up there. Kerslake got the handball away. Goes to Donahue. Donahue back inside. Good kick to McLeod. He's off. Gives the handball away into the hands there of his teammate. And that was Sheedy. He goes into their forward line. Picked up. Kicked along the ground. Ball runs. Will it stop inside the field of play? Harding tries to keep it alive but puts it through for a minor score.
He doesn't make many mistakes, McLeod.
No.
But he shouldn't have handballed that. He should have kicked it.
11-8 now, and the Belpost Hill 6-11. The ball is brought in quickly into the back pocket. Mark is taken out there. And I think it could be Sable. He goes short up over the top. Short to Fantella. Fantella with the ball. And he looks to go across the ground. The gain kick wasn't great. Flacavento had to go back and trap it. He's able to do so. Good clean pickup. Gave himself a little bit of time, puts Muir under a bit of pressure. He goes out the back door and he goes back, this time to the hands of Andrews, and he looks like he's going to deliver the ball long, outside 50, over the top, but the teammate at the back of there is Davis. He goes back the other way, into the hands now of James, who's got the ball, looks to play on, gets through the first tackle, got through the second, got the handball away. Down the front of the contest, picked up, ends up in the hands of back to Ford, and Ford kicks the goal. So he gets his second of the afternoon and the seventh now for Belpost Hill. They're 7-11, a little bit closer. Still Thomson 11 goals 8, and we have gone almost 16 minutes. Third quarter of the Grande Cyclone Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Well, to say they needed that's an understatement. Absolute understatement. They're getting outplayed at the moment. And look, I'm not saying it's for the year, but some of the older blokes that have been around a while, Fantella, Page, they're just struggling a little bit. They're not obviously the players that they were, but and that doesn't mean that they won't be real good players during the year, because I know they will. But just first up after a spell, they're struggling a little bit.
Back in the middle of the ground, 74 plays 53, 16 and a half minutes into the third quarter. They've got about 10 minutes more with this breeze to make up the 21 points and try and get a buffer. And they're into attack at the moment. No, can't get away. Great little tackle, drags him down, still in the centre circle. It was Sheedy who dragged Matt James down, and they're not going anywhere. Hand passed by McNamara across to Bashley. He gets it down looking for Harmer. He picks it up very neatly, but can't get away from his opponent there in Josh Cam. He drags him down again. The umpire comes in and has said it will be a ball up. on centre wing. No, boundary throw-in. It's gone over the line. So we'll have a boundary throw-in. It's Fisher and his opponent there in the ball up. Can't get it away. McLeod gets it. Hand pass array, little chain of little handballs, but no one's going anywhere. Tackling's very, very strong. I think at this stage players are probably getting tired. They just haven't got the acceleration to break away from packs, and we're probably going to see it go a bit messy in the next little while towards the end of the quarter. But thrown up again. Fisher can't get through. McLeod bursts through the pack. The umpire's blown the whistle. Suggested Fisher was held in that ruck contest. He's going to take a free kick. He's right on centre wing. He hand passes quickly across to his team Martin Andrews. He kicks long down to centre half forward. Coming out to punch the ball away as Davis gets it across towards Whitney. Whitney kicks back into the left forward pocket with his lovely long left foot kick, but it goes over the back of the pack. And we're out of bounds around 5 metres around from the point post. Bellpost Hill attacking to the city end with the aid of about a 4-goal breeze at this stage. They are currently 21 points behind Thomson.
Ball is thrown in and kicked off the ground forward, goes back towards the goal square, only as far as Maguire, gets the ball to Davis, goes back, gets the 1-2, actually went back to Davis and back into the middle. Fantella is going to on the bounce. It's picked up there by James from the centre half forward position. Takes them on, goes out wide and kicks towards the pocket. But in the front, Maguire goes over the top. Handball was okay. Ball comes back inside. Ends up there in the hands of Kerslake. He can't pick the ball up cleanly. Has support though. Again, they're working pretty hard in defence. Ball comes out. Umpire, how will he see it? And it's going to be a ball up to take place inside forward 50 for the Bellpost Hill side.
Three-quarter time, Corio 37, North 60.
Ooh. Is that the only one we got? Inverleigh and Werribee?
Haven't got that yet.
Righto. McLeod gets the ball out of the contest, goes to Kerslake, gets it back to McLeod. He's off his hands and knees into the hands now of O'Halloran. He goes across the ground. That's okay. Donoghue takes the mark. Donoghue has a player short, goes in that direction. Kick had to be good, wasn't. Donoghue went back and tried to claim it into the hands of O'Halloran. Now right boot goes back towards centre wing. Mark is not taken on hands and knees, looking for some teammates to arrive. He has one. This time it's Hodgson, and I think he may have won a free kick. And Hodgson will get to his knees and take recipient of that free kick. Decides to go and go quickly. A little short kick out wide. Donoghue has taken the mark. So Donoghue now, centre wing, just defensive side. He decides to go back and O'Halloran takes the mark. He's looking for his options, asking to someone come at him. Green looks like he's going to be the target. Ball up over the top, uses the body, takes it and then gets the ball and goes in long. Basley is best positioned. Ball does get out the back. Fisher is there, but a free kick is against Amy. Handball from him. Basley goes towards Muir. Amy, that's him. Amy, that's it. And the hands now of Costello leading up through the middle of the ground. Haven't seen much of Nick Costello today, but he doesn't need many opportunities to kick some goals. He's a bit too far out from there. Ball comes out, goes towards the half-forward line, just a bit, 90 metres, but he's a long way out of his territory. Back to Maguire. Maguire goes back to Jacker. Jacker looks inside. Uji's got the ball. Handball comes in. A lot of run and carry here, and they're doing it very nicely. McLeod with the ball, looks up and goes out wide towards Freeman. Takes Vasika off the ball. Gets inside, looks to Muir. A little left foot kick, wasn't good. Only went 2 metres, went straight to Ben Muir. He there at Davis. Davis now will deliver the ball long, goes inside, ball through the top. Gardner runs onto it from the pocket. What will he do? Kick it straight out of bounds in the full. That's what he'll do. And the free kick will go to Bellpost Hill. We've gone 22 minutes. almost in this third quarter. Thomson 11 goals 8. Yep, Bellpost Hill 7-11. We've already eaten, so I know it's a third quarter grub. Very nice spread too. And the ball comes out the back. This time it's going to be picked up out there, and it's going to be by Sable. Sable goes towards the centre wing out there and leading in the race for the ball. Ball comes to ground, picked up there, trying to get away for the Bellpost Hill side is Kerrins. Kerrins can't pick the ball up, will get away cleanly, and it runs back over the boundary line and will be thrown back into the field of play. So Fisher and Cam looking for the ruck contest. Ball comes out. Amy picks the ball up. Good clean hands to O'Halloran. O'Halloran back into the hands of Sheedy. Clean hands to O'Halloran. So I was going to say clean hands to O'Halloran. Thank you, Grub. We're right. That's exactly right. And the mark has been taken out there by Mead Harding, and he will go back and he will shoot for goal.
P2, is it, or 1? One.
It was O'Halloran. Yeah. Anyway, Mead Harding has won for the afternoon. He's looking to kick goal number 2 for we continue to call?
Oh, so if you want to, a bit of practice, I suppose. If you don't, you don't. Falling out, we weren't. We've been out for fucking half an hour.
Well, we're going to have another crack at the food.
Yeah, see if it's still out on the table.
Yeah.
You are still on YouTube. We're still on.
So we're back in the middle of the ground now. This time up and go at it. Cam gets the ball down, goes toward Plant. He can't pick it up cleanly. Picked up. Handball comes out the back, goes towards James. Looking for some option, goes over the top. Miss Danielle coming the other way. Ball is picked up by Uji. Uji goes towards centre wing. And again, they run the ball out of the contest. This time it didn't get too far. It was Kane that had the ball. Picked up there by Whitney. Over the top. Good mark. And it's going to be picked up there by Danielle. So Danielle now with the ball. Forward of centre wing. Looks to deliver the ball long forward into the pocket. It's a great looking kick in front. Mark wouldn't be taken by Page. Gets out the back. Runs towards the boundary line. Going back. Picked up out there. Maguire. Maguire gets the handball away. Goes to Davis. Davis gets the 1-2. And from the fence he brings the ball back out. He got the handball over to Ujis. Goes back to Davis. Puts himself under a little bit of pressure now. Needs to get rid of it and does so. Again, ball goes over the boundary line and there will be a throw in between centre wing and half forward. So ball now thrown back in by the umpire. Fisher in front. Ball comes to the front of the contest. Picked up there. Danielle. He's been okay today. Goes into the pocket to Ford. Ford takes the mark. No, he doesn't. Ball comes out and it goes over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in and it will take place about 20 around from the goal square.
So ball's about to be thrown in the forward pocket. Bellpost Hill in attack, desperate for some goals before three-quarter time. Forward in the front position, gets it down in the front of Harmer. He can't burst through, dragged to the ground. Bellpost Hill desperate to try and get it out, but Thomson equally desperate in defence. And it's Cam who drags the ball down underneath the players. It's Jordan Cam in the ruck work. He gets it out of the hand of Ford. Ford's been grabbed. He didn't have the ball. And the umpire has deemed he's going to get a free kick. So Will Ford, who's having his first game in the Panthers colours, recruited from Winchelsea, where he actually captained the side up there last year. He's going to take a set shot. He'll be at 45 degrees and probably kick from about 35 metres by the time things get settled. Wind at his back. His side desperately needs this. Currently 27 points behind, and we're 26 minutes into the De Grande third quarter. So it's Ford comes in very deliberately, drops it on the boot right through the middle. Desperate goal for the Bellpost Hill side. I make him 4 for the afternoon. You've only got him at 3, I think, but we'll check on that later. Dale, probably too late. true, but Sable's going in the kick for Bellpost Hill. Kicks out to Whitney. Whitney picks it up very cleverly, gets around Zach Plant, and his neat little left footer goes forward over the head of Joel Page. Misses young Kerrin there on the half-forward flank. He can't win the ball. Haven't seen much of him this afternoon. And we're going to have a ball up right on the 50-metre arc. And Joel Page is looking very sore and sorry for himself, holding his ribs as he heads towards the interchange bench. Looking very sore. They can't afford to be without him. It's Brent McLeod who's fast becoming the best player on the ground. Gets across to a teammate in Donahue. He kicks it pretty much straight up in the air. Punched away from Whitney. Donahue butters up again to try and win the ball back, but it's knocked out of his hands. And over the boundary line, we'll have a throw in right on the 50-metre arc. Bellpost still in attack, and we've only got a minute or so left in this third quarter.
Inverleigh 9-13-67, Werribee Central's 2-4-16, and waiting for an ambulance for Brad Carlson, the captain.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Not a good sign. Donahue escorts the ball over the boundary line, almost identical spot from where it was thrown in just a few seconds earlier. And
they say what he's done, Grub?
No.
So ball's thrown in. Fisher at the front, but coming over the back is Jordan Cam. Kerrin leaves a pathway for Dylan Whitney, but the ball beats him over the boundary line. We'll have a third boundary throw in, almost identical spot. Bellpost Hill desperate to get some score before three-quarter time. Jordan Cam is the front position, but punched forward by Fisher, and again the ball's forced over the boundary line. This time 10 metres around further from where it was, but both sides very tired and struggling.
Well, the thing is, they're desperate to get a goal, but Thomson are just as desperate to keep pushing it back over that line and up time, and they're doing it with great purpose.
Very much so. Cam again gets time to Fantella. He kicks a left foot. McLeod comes in very hard. The siren goes, a very soft siren here at Thomson, but it's 12-8-80. Bellpost Hill 8-11-59. 19 shots to 20 isn't a true indication of how this game has been played, Grubby.
No, it's not. It's not. I think Bellpost Hill are really struggling, actually. They're kicking into their own men, tackling their own men. It's not the Bellpost Hill of old. But as I said earlier, I just had a feeling that Bellpost Hill, after talking to a few blokes up there, I just think they're one of those sides that I think they'll be coming home hard, but they might struggle a little bit early. And Thomson have proven that. That's taken nothing out of Thomson's game because they've been terrific.
They have been very good indeed. Goal kickers, please, Dale, before we head back to the studio.
Yeah, goal kickers three-quarter time. Dan Freeman with 4, Brent McLeod with 3, 2 to Mead Harding, 1 each to Davis, Exel, Green, and for the Bellpost Hill side, 3 to Will Ford, 2 to Danielle, 1 to Yates, Costello and Sable. And at this stage, a Candy 21-point lead to the Thomson side. Take a short break when we come back. Final call action here from Thomson. We're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Well, you haven't because you haven't been on. You've been listening to nothing.
It's going to the video.
What was it?
That's it. I've got connection.
Now you tell me.
It's failing to disconnect. It's failing.
Now you tell me.
Yeah, we're still going to video, not to the studio, that's all.
Oh, now you tell me.
Video killed the radio star.
I've been sitting here swearing.
Don't do that.
I
Well, you all told me we're off.
must have backed the winner. Oh, the Cunning Fox one.
The Cunning Fox.
The Cunning Fox.
Were you all over that one, Dave?
Oh, actually, I had Ashy Boy. I think I backed Ashy Boy. I don't know what I backed now. Must have a lot of bets. Oh, maybe I backed the winner at Ararat. And the man, the one a day of your day, just a Lico.
Messi on the netball court, 54-3.
Who's winning?
Thomson will be winning.
Thomson will be winning.
Are they Brett Shetty's two boys, are they?
Who?
Brett Shetty.
Oh, I don't know. Who's Brett Shetty?
Well, he used to coach Bannockburn a couple of years back after they sacked me one time.
How many? Was he at Inverleigh as well?
Did they appoint him after they sacked you? Jeez.
Yep. He was tied up at Newtown with at some stage of there. I didn't know his boys played at Bell Park though. I thought he would have been Newtown. But it looks like him there.
So the network's gone down at the station, that's why.
All right. At the station itself.
That's all.
So the idiot Steely pushing buttons.
He might have had too many going at once.
Yes.
Cats playing today?
No, that's tonight. It's Rollby.
You going the footy?
No, bed. Bed or couch? Grab one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Yep.
Steve Salajan.
Who?
Steve Salajan.
Yeah, I can't remember who they said.
Adam Healy from Newtown.
No, it wasn't Healy. They definitely said they were the first bloke, I reckon. There was a couple of blokes who even played last year, they reckon, they're not even playing. So
Salajan was only a moderately good Colac player. He won't be a gun here.
He made five. There was about 5 names there, I reckon.
Well, the ends have given me there only 2 not playing.
Yep, that's the one.
Are we back on yet or what?
No, station's gone down. But we are on the video.
So there is a slight delay. So.
Righto, we're back in the centre of the ground. It's 12:08:80, Bell Post Hill 11:08:59, the start of the last quarter. Umpire raises the ball. The soft siren sounds. Dale Smith, take it away.
Yes, we got ruck contest in the middle of the ground. Picked up James, got the handball away, went in the hands of Whitney. Whitney delivers the ball back into the half-forward line. Out the back, Marcus taken out there by Sheedy. And this is Mitch. Mitch from the back line. Just looking for some options down the field now. Looks like he's going to go down the line. That kick's not too good because it's straight into the hands of Fisher for Bell Post Hill. Gets the handball away.
Oh, Benny.
Benny Muir had it, lost it. Picked up there by Cam. Goes over the top to Hodgson from centre forward. Looks up, goes straight towards goal. And it is offline and through for a minor score.
Well, Benny can breathe a sigh of relief there.
Absolutely. So 12-9 now to the Thomson side. 8-11 Bellpost Hill. Still commanding 22-point lead. And I don't mind this kid either. Grub Andrews, he's been okay for Bellpost Hill. Not too sure where he was come from, but the ball was kicked in by that player. He kings the ball in long, and Costello read that nicely in the air, takes the mark, looks back in the middle of the ground over the head of Staggard, and coming up the other way was Uji from Thomson. He delivers the ball and goes straight back into their forward line, out the back.
That's a great kick.
It was. Did not have to move. And that was Mead Harding. So he's going to go back.
The thing was, he had to get it just over the defender's head, and he did exactly that. That's a beautiful, beautiful kick. That's an AFL kick, that.
Very nice indeed. And he will go back, Mead Harding, and look at his third goal of the afternoon. Comes in, left foot kick, straight through the middle. Oh, actually it wasn't. He thought it was good, but the umpire ran across and through for a minor score. He had me fooled. 12-10, and... So what? You was going to say that was not very hard, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. 8-11 Bellpost Hill. And we have gone just over 1.5 minutes in this final quarter. Smith Holden, Blood Suzuki, final quarter scoreboard.
Bo McNamara for Bellpost Hill has the ball. He plays on and very gingerly kicks out towards the half-back flank, and Brent McLeod comes in and takes the mark. The man on the mark is right on the 50-metre line, and McLeod might nearly fancy himself. Even with tired legs at this stage of the game, that breeze at his back is going to give him 8 or 10 metres.
It's going to take a good kick.
He'll kick it. Straight to the middle.
McLeod goes back and goes crunch. It is a beautiful, long, straight kick straight through the middle, and he kicks his 4th for the afternoon. And if he wasn't already a 3-vote contender, I think that might nearly sail it through for him. Thomson go now to an unassailable lead. Wind at their back. 20, must be nearly 30 points in front. Grubby, is the fat lady ready to sing?
Oh, yeah. I look, you always say don't ever write Bellpost Hill off because they're the greatest dynasty of all time, but raging legs against the wind, it was going to take a super effort, and Thomson get the first one on the board. For McGinn, I said somebody for an AFL kick before. Well, he's a bloke that can kick like an AFL football. That was beautiful.
So we're back in the middle. This time it's Cam does the ruck word. Fisher read the hands and nicely into their forward line, but again it's picked up there by Sam Jacker, who's going to transfer play. He's going to go looking for Green and or Hodgson. One of the two can get it. Hodgson out the back, can pick the ball up. If he's lucky, he'll be able to run straight at goal. Decides to step back inside, put himself under a bit of pressure. Now he's dropped the ball. Umpire has to pay dropping it, and he will do so. And Flacavento, the recipient of the free kick. So Flacavento now, he's inside their defensive 50. Asked to play on now by the umpire, so he transfers play across the ground. Kick was okay into the hands of Benny Muir. He's got an option further afield, little short kick for Seeker. He takes the mark, so for Seeker now, he looking to go, and the umpire's asked him to call and play on now, and so he goes back towards centre wing in front. Yates, good strong mark in front of McLeod. So Jack Yates to his feet. James running past, he's been called to play on. Oh, do you know what? Lucky there because the bloke come from behind the mark to do that. Ends up back in the hands of Yates. Looks for the options back inside. Danielle went towards his teammate. Both of them actually went away from the ball instead of going at it. And now the umpire will come in and take possession of the ball.
So we've got a 29-point lead to Thomson, and Sam Jacker is given away a free kick. Matt James has got it. It's put him, he would back himself to kick it from there even into the wind. He's got to only kick it 30 metres, 35 metres. He's going back, having a bit of a think about it now. Actually, it might be closer to 40. He's got to kick it.
Short 50.
He's on the 50-metre arc now. He's running, he got the ball a bit, but his kicking's been very ordinary, and that is an absolute shocker and lands on the chest.
12-8.
He's kicked it 15 metres at best off the side of the boot, and it's been marked by Green. Green kicks it out wide, and Zach Plant, who's been more than serviceable this afternoon, takes a mark for Thomson, kicks it further down the ground, looking for a teammate, can't get it. Jacker comes out now, picks up for Thomson, wheels on the right foot, kicks horrible one into the forward line, but it could be effective. Coming out is Exel. Exel kicks across his body, and that has gone straight through the middle, and that takes their lead to 35 points. Exel's been fairly handy today without being dominant, and that will do his confidence a world of good for future outings. But yeah, very tired looking Bellpost Hill now. There wasn't a lot of defensive pressure on there.
No, and you're right there too. I just think Excel, you're right with Excel. I think today you would say, yeah, okay, but I've just got this feel he's going to be one of those blokes who are going to take this competition by the scruff of the neck the more games that he plays. That's my opinion anyway.
So back with the umpire now, in the middle of the ground. Umpire throws it up, Fisher up, Cam up, Fisher knocks the tap down, goes to Fantella. He is tackled and he is pinged and didn't get rid of that ball correctly, and the free kick will go to O'Halloran. He gives the handball away to Plant on the left boot, little low kick, goes into their half forward line, will run through, goes towards Freeman. Out the back with Viserka, and he was trying to trap the ball. Now there's a hole in the jumper here, and it's going to go to Freeman. So Daniel Freeman, no doubt, will take the opportunity to take off in a minute. Umpire again setting the mark. Plays on now, decides to go long and quickly, and it will be just off line through for a minor score. Freeman with 4-4 for the afternoon, and Thomson with 14-11 now. They lead by the 6-goal margin, and Belpost still 8-11, and we've gone 7 minutes, final quarter.
Muir for Belpost Hill has the ball in the goal square, waddles out, takes a bounce, kicks low towards the wing. Davis well set, but it's Jordan Cam who gets it down the front of the pack. Coming through for Belpost Hill, there is Quinn. He can't get away from the pack. Lots of players on the ball, all very tired players. Harmer tries to break away from the pack, is dragged over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. There's a bit of feeling in there.
Don't think so.
So we are about to have a throw in. It's come down to the front of the pack. Yates can't get away for Belpost. Still comes over the back to Harmer. James is dragged quickly to the ground when he got the hand pass from Harmer, and we'll have a secondary ball up just inside the boundary, about 3 or 4 metres inside. Thomson in attack. They already lead by 36 points, and it's definitely their 4 points today. Fisher tries to get away, can't through. Fantella tries to also. James is waiting in there for the ball. Comes out to Vakura. He's grabbed, and no one going anywhere. The players really, it looks like the 14th round of a 15-round heavyweight boxing clash at the moment. They're just all really struggling to get any momentum at all. Comes across to
You're going back in time a bit. They have 12 rounds now.
Oh, do they? Well, that looked to be a high tackle. Wasn't paid, and we'll have another ball up just inside the centre square. Thomson are still in attack, already leading by 36 points, and we're 8.5 minutes into the final quarter. Fisher gets it out, but not far enough out. The ball falls under a pack of players again. Davis desperately trying to get it out. Keeps squeezing out, but as soon as someone grabs it, they're immediately tackled and dragged to the ground. And this has got a very under nines look about it at the moment. It's very ugly.
It has, but I tell you what, there's a lot of people who have been listening and can't get it. Inverleigh 9-13-67, Werribee 2-4-16, East Geelong 17-8, Belmont 8-3, 37 Corio 60 North, and Thomson. Well, you know the Thomson ones.
And we believe Corio might be coming home if there's any breeze grubby.
They will be. Yeah, they will be. But
so that game still is interesting.
Yeah, there's still a chance.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, I suppose 7 goals, 8 goals. No, Werribee you wouldn't think could kick 8 against it. With it, sorry.
Sam Green grabs the ball out of the ruck, kicks it forward. 2 Belpost Hill defenders punch away. Running onto the ball for Thomson.
That's over the ball.
Trying to get away there is Jeremy Kane. He can't. Probably should have been penalised. The umpires let it go. Belpost Hill kicked down the line looking for Fisher over his head, and Harmer comes out and takes a neat little chest mark for the Panthers. Trying to mount something in this losing quest. Jack Yates is well positioned and takes a really strong mark in front of Brent McLeod. Yates gets it across to James. James quickly kicks down forward, but it's just landed in a nest of Thomson Tigers, and Paul Davis takes one of many marks that he's taken across half-back this afternoon. That's a long kick to the advantage of Exel.
Now foul the ball.
He's been tackled down. There's a that was very, very tight. Exel's got it back again. He's just run around a player, gets it across, I think it's Mead Harding. He can't get away from the pack. Exel's in there trying to get it off Sable again, but can't go anywhere. That was just a comedy of errors the last minute or so there. And eventually we're going to get to the stage of a ball up between the centre square and the 50-metre arc. Thomson in attack. Fisher gets it down, lays it in front of the path of Sable. Can't get away. Harmer's in there tackling hard for Bellpost Hill. But again, the ball not going where. We've got Muir hobbling away from the contest. Looks like he's got a ankle problem. Thomson kick it out towards Sable.
Oh, no.
Loses possession. Fisher grabs the ball, quickly slaps it on his foot, but he's kicked it into the car park, and Thomson will get the relieving free kick. There's a couple lining up. Freeman's got his eyes on the ball, as has Exel, but it's Freeman who'll get it, and he's fancying himself. I reckon he's kicked a lot of goals from that pocket in his career, this young fella. Wheels around on the right foot, drops it on
Not
the
this
foot.
time.
But he's gone a little bit narrow again, and another point takes Thomson to 14-12-96. Bellpost Hill 8-11-59, so that's 37-point margin, 11 and a half minutes into the last quarter.
I think you got that right. Bellpost Hell. Because they've been hellish today. That's not the Bellpost Hill winner, but they'll come back.
So in the back pocket, they ring the ball, and it's going to be a kick forward, go back towards centre wing. Again, the kick wasn't great. Both players went up and spoiled each other. Ball goes back over the boundary line. Communication not happening there.
From memory, Grubby, they had a very scrubby first round last year against Inverleigh, but slowly built up, and by round 6 or 7 they were steaming. So
I've got that feel that could happen again.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I think, well, we'll see.
Fisher's done a reasonable job in the ruck, but they're clearly missing a dominant big man, and when you've got someone who could get the ball in contests like Beau Collins not there, it certainly makes a difference.
Well, they haven't covered him yet.
Fisher won that tap out very, very well, gets it away. Zach Plank comes in, he's tackled front on. The umpire said, that's okay, and we'll throw the ball in. No, he just deemed it as a free kick to Plant. Yep, for a front on tackle. I think that's just a bit of inexperienced control from the umpire, but this might be one of the fellas in his first game. Kicks the ball over the back of the pack, and that's a neat mark there by Freeman. And again, he's in that favourite little pocket of his. He's missed 2 from there in the last little while, but he has kicked 4 goals, 5 for the afternoon. Dale, have you got him as, I think? So it's Freeman again, tight in the forward pocket, but he'll no doubt run around. He'll kick to the right goal post, and it'll swing around nicely if things are normal, and that's exactly what has happened. He's kicked his 5th for the afternoon.
He's pretty happy.
And takes the Thomson lead beyond 40 points, 13 minutes into the last quarter. He's one of your favourites, Grubby, and you couldn't complain with his contribution today.
Oh, no, you couldn't. And as I said a million times, we watched him do his knee, we watched him be out for a while, and you think, gee, I hope the kid comes back. Well, I'll tell you what, he's come back with a vengeance today. He's been very, very good. And I noticed the Thomson runner, Steve McLeod, just wandered around there. He's also a Bellpost Hill Premiership player, Dale.
He is.
So, yeah. So there you go.
We're back in the middle of the ground. We've got Cam. No, it's not. It's O'Halloran in the ruck this particular time. He gets a tap out, goes straight to an opposition player who's immediately tackled to the ground. That's Yates, by the look of it, is it?
I think we need Dick Philpott.
Yeah, Yates.
Fat laddie to sing.
Yeah, Yates again trying to get it. James got his hand on the ball. He's immediately tackled. Bobbles out. Brett McLeod wins the ball. Gets it to Plant. Plant back to McLeod. McLeod to Davis. Davis back to McLeod. Eventually a kick out of that pack, and it goes down and hits the chest of Jeremy Kane, who we haven't seen much of this afternoon. He runs around his opponent, and a horrible left foot kick into the forward line, but it's bouncing around. It's anyone's ball at this particular stage. Mead Harding grabs the ball, hand passes very strongly out in the direction of Exel. He tries to win the ball. Coming back is Kane. He's pushed out of the road. It's Sam Green wins the ball. The umpire said Kane was hit high, and he will take a kick, and he's not very far from where Freeman was a few minutes ago to kick that goal, so it'll be interesting to see if he copies his teammate.
You just see excellent. He grabbed it first and then tried to handle under pressure. A nice little tap, I think, would have been better for him. And I think he would have went straight into goal. But
so it's Jeremy Kane now for the Thomson side. He runs around to give himself a bit more of an angle, kicks it, but he hasn't hit the ball anywhere near as well as Freeman, and in fact gone through for 1 point, only just on the far side of the goal. So Thomson go to 15-13, 103. Bellpost Hill 8-11-59. With 15 and a half minutes into the final quarter.
So the ball now from the fullback position. Flacavento brings it in this time and goes far side of the ground. Out looking for Yates. Fisher's also there. Gets out the back, picked up there, handball over the top. Goes from Sheedy and intercepted there. James gets through the contest, went back to Fisher. Got the handball out to a running player there in Andrews, who's been good. Ball now from Bernie goes straight up in the air and will come down. No mark taken. Picked up there. Ball handballed over the top to Danielle. He kicks the ball off the ground. Again, the ball didn't travel that far. He was interfered with. The handball again is going to be running forward towards a teammate. It's going to be picked up. Handball comes out the back, goes towards Staggard. Staggard needs to get down. Can't pick the ball up cleanly. And his teammate there and Sable is also taken over the boundary line. And we're going to have a throw in. So the ball thrown back in by the umpire. Fisher doing the work with O'Halloran. Ball comes out the back, goes towards Fantella, tries to dive to Sable, picked up by Stagger to Costello. Costello pretty much straight across the ground, races on. Leading in the race for the ball out there will be Andrews. He will get there first. Picks the ball up, nice clean pick up, went back on the left foot, looks like he can use both sides of the body, so he'll be Andy. Ball comes in, Costello couldn't take the mark. Sheedy was a player coming the other way and knocks the ball down. Vasika, big job here, 1 on 3, gets out the back, picked up there, and it wasn't picked up. It was handball, comes out, and Belpo still have got some numbers around the ball, but it goes back over the boundary line, and a throw-in will take place on that far side of the ground.
They've been pretty comprehensive, Thomson. They've just played good football all day. They've played 4 quarters of footy. I think that's the Lynch way too, you know.
So the ball comes out the back of the contest. Again, Yates over the top of it. He can't pick the ball up cleanly. The umpire says he's taken high, so he'll win a free kick. Tried pretty hard all day, Jack Yates. So he's looking for some options. Jones across the ground, but he's not going to use him, which is unusual because that's why they usually first look. They're going straight up the line now. Leading in the race of the ball. Mark is not taken out there. Was that Whitney? And he has put the ball down, goes over the boundary line, have a throw in. He's still a bit ginger from that tackle early in the game, I think, Grubb.
Yeah.
He's noticeably gone quiet.
Yeah, that hurt him, actually.
So the ball thrown back in again once again, over the top. Ball comes down. Green runs onto it. That was a nice work. And umpire said there's a free kick out on the far side. Who's it going to go to? He's pointing towards Fisher, so he's going to be the recipient. He chips the ball and goes down the line. Mark is taken out there. They turn the ball back inside, go looking for Fantella. Can run the carry now, delivers the ball low into the forward line. Players picked up. That's nice work there, and the ball is cleared away this time by Cam. And he goes over the top, goes out wide, looking for his teammate, and Habgood has time to steady, goes back inside. Goes across the ground with a quick. Green is out there, picks the ball up, a little bit of time to steady, looks towards goal, kicks, and the umpire stands and wants to go straight over her head. Sam Green has goal number 2 for the afternoon, the 16th. Now for the Thomson side, they're 16-13. They lead Belpost Hill 8-11, and at 19 minutes gone, final quarter. Smiths Holden, Blood Suzuki, final quarter scoreboard.
Don't ask me, I didn't see it. I got texts coming in my ears everywhere.
So what stage of the game is Inverloy and Werribee, Grub?
That was the 3-quarter time score. We have a full-time score from Corio already.
Oh.
And that is Corio 63 were defeated by North 109.
Really?
Yep.
That's amazing. So this new app is struggling today because I had it at 64 and 49. I thought, Corio are coming home in the last quarter, but no, not to be. They were well and truly outclassed, which is good for the Magpies. We weren't sure what they'd deliver, but a win for them will be very important.
Well, the hardest thing is they're coming in 10 minutes early, and Cogsy out at East Geelong are coming in 10 minutes late. So the games are about a 40-minute spread. How the hell does that happen? Just to make it hard for me.
It's a plot. It's a plot to get you, Grubby. Zach Plant, who has been a very good player today, he gets it across to Kane. Kane gets it back to Gardner for Thomson. They kick the ball forward, desperately battling as Bo McNamara, who's well below his best today. He's obviously struggling with something. That is a kick across the body by Mead Harding, but it's gone out on the full. So we'll have a resultant free kick to Belpost Hill in the back pocket. And the game now well and truly gone. 50-point margin to the Thomson Tigers. And, excuse me. We had them same number of scoring shots not all long ago. Now it's 29 scoring shots to 19. So it's been a very dominant final quarter by Thomson. I don't know whether that's just pure fitness or what the reason, but Belpost Hill definitely struggling. Kane into the game. The wind does help a little bit. And Kane has got himself a free kick. No, the umpire's going to ball it up. Just inside the boundary line, Thomson in attack again. Up goes Green, tries to win the tap out, finishes up wobbling out and falling into his own hands, and that is a terrible shot at goal from Jack Sheedy across his body, out of bounds on the full. And they keep attacking, but it's just very tired Warriors at the moment.
I'll tell you what, mate, first game up, kicking against the wind in the last quarter, you don't want to be out there, do you? You just want the siren to ring and say, give me a spell.
Yeah, they're definitely in a shower. McNamara kicks again. Green comes over the backs and takes a really strong mark, and he's got better and better as the day's gone on. He had a very ordinary first quarter. He just couldn't get his hands on the ball at all, even though he was in the right position. But the longer it's gone, the better he's got. He's lining up for his third goal. He's done a bit of ruck work to chop out Cam. That's come off the boot pretty well, just fading late and through for 1 point for Sam Green. Making his debut for the Tommy Tigers. South Barwon to Birregurra and back into Geelong.
So the ball out wide now, and basically takes the ball, goes quickly around the boundary line. And I've said before, this kid Andrews, he moves okay, put himself under a bit of pressure, trying to come back.
Too well that time.
No, but he's going to be all right. I reckon he'll be a kid to watch in time. So
his movement was all right. The vision wasn't too
not
good.
too sure where he has come from either, Grub, but
some areas, I think.
Was it? Yeah, no. So he's got. He just moves across the ground nicely and knows what he's about. So Sheedy, this is with the ball now. This is Mitch. Mitch goes short. Mark is taken out wide. Went to his brother. He goes back now. And they try and do a 1, 2, 3. And they've done that pretty nicely now because they come out the other side. Goes in long. And the mark has been taken out there by Benny Muir. Kick was a bit too much on it. Brent McLeod was the lead-up player. So he now goes short. And we'll find Danielle. And he has now got the ball. Still outside their defensive 50. Over the top, short. Fantella called the play on. Hand goes to Vasika. Vasika on a boot to ball. Goes back towards centre wing. Mark not taken out there by Yates. Had a good crack at it. A good quick hands there from Sheedy. Ends up in the hands, or tries to be kicked off the ground this time by Gardner, I think it was. He missed the ball. McLeod is out there. Head over the ball. And the umpire now will come in and take possession.
Nearly 8 goals up. McLeod... Probably he's played a great game. Do you take him off and say, have a shower, mate, you've done enough, we'll keep you for next week?
Yep.
I think so.
Ball tapped out of the contest into the hands there and was going forward by Plant. Probably the first mistake he's probably made all day, but it wasn't a good one. It went out of bounds on the full. So Bellpost Till through Flacavento will have the recipient free kick. Underneath the car down there somewhere. Not too sure where the ball is, I don't think.
Might they be like that bloke from Buddy, pinch the footy. And the idiot give it back.
Pretty cheaply too, a couple of pairs of boots and jumper. Did he win a membership out of it? Or not?
6 months membership or something.
6 months, that all?
Something like that.
Buddy probably slipped him a couple on the way out the door. So Flacavento now brings the ball in. He goes out long and kicks outside 50. Mark is not taken out there. It was close to it. And that was by Habgood, but he didn't complete it. And the umpire says it's over the boundary line now to be thrown back into play. So Bernie doing the ruck work, and again Cam. Have in mind his effort in the ruck today. He's been quite good. Ball is tapped out of that contest, comes back. Staggard gets the ball out, and he goes sideways, ends up in the hands of Costello. Costello just playing a little deep roll. Ford's also down there, so Bellpost still definitely with numbers back to behind the ball at the moment. He's looking for his options, decides to go longer and wide out towards the player in Andrews, but the kick wasn't good and ball runs back over the boundary line to have another throw in far side of the ground. It's in between centre wing and half forward for the Thomson side.
Ball's about to be thrown in. Cam and Fisher. No, it's not Fisher. It's actually Bernie was in the ruck at that time, giving a Fisher a bit of a chop out. Ball's gone nowhere, dribbled over the boundary line, and will repeat the dose. And I think we might have a fair bit of that in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, because these players are all very, very tired. Skills are rusty anyway, and when you're tired and rusty skills, it's not very good viewing normally, and that seems to be what's happening now. That should have been a free kick to Thomson.
He's picked it up late. Doesn't matter when you pick them up, as long as you pick them up in the head ones, and that's a good umpiring decision. They've been pretty good umpires.
They have. They've been very good. When you consider the lack of experience that you read out pre-game, I reckon they've done a very good job.
I think Chris Jones has controlled it pretty well, and he's brought the other two into the game, and I think they've done a pretty good job.
Vasirka got in late on Brent McLeod. And it's McLeod who now chips a lovely, neat little pass in and finds Mead Harding on the lead. And he will line up for his second goal for the afternoon. No, he's down for 2 already, so this will be his third for the afternoon. I must have missed one. And he's been quite serviceable, lively little player down there in the forward line for Thomson. So he'll kick from about 45 metres out, left footer. That's a beautiful kick off the boot, but it went straight over the boundary line. It was a beautiful exponent of the drop punt, but he just aimed at the wrong thing, and it's out of bounds on the full across the face of goal. So we'll have Bo McNamara, or is it Muir there? Muir's been battered this afternoon. He's had a few issues with ankle and leg. Oh, it's actually even Nick Costello. When I come up, I just saw the balding forehead and thought it was Muir. But Costello, who's worked very hard in the back half of the ground in this particular quarter to try and stop the blood flow. He kicks long back down the wind, the ball dropping short in the wind, but Jack Yates reads it best, gets a hand pass quickly across to teammate and Fantella. His hand pass back to Yates is intercepted and it bobbles over the boundary line. Sam Green picks the ball up, hands it to the boundary umpire, and we'll have yet another throw in. Players are readying themselves at the contest. It looks like Green and Burney will go up for the ruck. It's grabbed by Yates. He kicks long down the line looking for his teammate, and Danielle punched away by Davis, who's done a really good job as a defender today. And Paul Lynch must have seen something during pre-season that thought you belong at the other end of the ground, despite having many great years at centre-half forward for your club. And he's done a very, very good job today. So the ball's thrown in again. It is Cam who gets it away again. Players going hard for the ball. The umpire has said, you have not got rid of the ball properly, young fella, and the captain of Thomson, Travis Maguire, will take the free kick. He's about 60 metres out at this stage. If he's going to just drop it at the top of the square. No, he hand passes quickly across the teammate. He drops it down, and coming out and taking a mark on the lead is Exel in the bright green boots, and he'll take a shot for goal, probably for about 40 to 45 metres out, directly in front. He's already kicked 2, and it's just looked a little bit better each quarter in this particular game. And I think the club hierarchy will be very happy with his recruiting. So Exel comes forward. That leaves the boot delightfully. The goal umpire does not move a muscle. And that is goal number 17 to Thomson. 17 goals, 14, 116. Bellpost Hill, 8, 11, 59. This game well and truly out of reach. And Thomson is starting to look a little bit better the longer we go.
Yeah, well, the wind in the last quarter was always going to be hard for Bellpost Hill. They just had to work hard, but they just haven't got it in their legs, and they're just running up and down on the one spot. A couple of times they got it on the other side, and it looked like they were going to run it, and they just couldn't move, and made it easy for the Thomson defence to just bang it back into the forward line. And yep, they've looked good. We'll do a bit of a summary about them after the game, but I've enjoyed the way they've played their game under the new coach in Lynch.
So back in the middle, it's Cam and Fisher go up. A very tired leap at the ball from both of them. Amy comes out, tackled by James. He can't get away. Cam gets it. A quick hand pass over the shoulder into space. Players run onto it, but no one's really got a clean possession. Matt James gets it across to a teammate. He's dragged to the ground immediately. Comes out. Amy, probably not correct disposal, but he's got it across to Freeman. He slaps it on the boot quickly forward. Exel's first out again. Tries to win the ball, paps it back in the path of advantage for his team, but it's Flacavento for Bellpost Hill, relieves the pressure. Muir gets a concerning bounce for a little while, hand passes a teammate across to James. James tries to use his pace to get clear, but it runs away from him over the boundary line and out of bounds, half forward flank. Bellpost Hill in attack. Thomson in attack, and they already lead this game by 57 points. We are 30 minutes into the last quarter. Siren is imminent.
Should be pushed. Ball now in the forward line. Again, Thomson trying to keep the ball in there. Bellpost Hill are trying to get it out. Vasika, he gets the ball. Little chip kick. Takes the ball back outside 50, but straight back over the boundary line. So another throw-in will take place. Umpire about to regain possession of the ball. Shouldn't have much longer to go, you wouldn't think. Ball thrown back in again. Ruckman go at it. Fisher taps the ball down the front of the contest. Hits a handball back. Went looking for, I think it was Hamer that has it, and he has been tackled, brought to ground. Umpire in and will take possession.
There would not be one player out there who'd be not wanting the timekeeper to press the button at the moment.
Oh, exactly.
So the ball's tapped out of the contest, ends up there in the hands of Staggard. He goes out long. Mark not taken out there by Davis. Pick up the ball. Good handball. Ends up there in the hands of Danielle. Goes back inside. Hamer's there again. He is tackled, brought to ground. Umpire said he had prior opportunity, so free kick is going to go to the Thomson side.
Maybe Freeman might want to have another crack at another goal.
So
that's the only one I can think of.
Sammy Jacker now with the ball, and he decides just to load up and go long, looking for Exel back in the forward line. Ball gets out the back, and the ball runs over the boundary line and will be thrown back into the field of play.
And we've seen small forwards can kick a lot of goals through the year. The boy from Belmont kicked a lot of goals last year. The boy from Werribee, Wilson, kicked a lot of goals last year. So the little forwards are starting to come into this game.
I reckon there's one stage the top 10 goal kickers, only one of them was over 6 foot.
And that'd be Blair.
Yeah.
He might not be. He might be just 6 foot.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a place for them in this level of football, particularly when you're opportunistic like Freeman, and most of his today have been exactly that.
Yeah. Who am I thinking of, Smithy? From Belmont, from Bannockburn to Belmont.
Jarks.
Brent Jarks.
Yeah.
There's a
There
siren.
it is. The soft siren has put an end to what has been a, not so much entertaining last 10 minutes. It's been anything but, actually. Thomson 17-14, 116. Bellpost Hill 8-11, 59. We had 32 minutes in the last quarter, but that's a pretty comprehensive 57-point victory to Thomson. Almost doubled the score. I don't think that was a fair result of the contest, but it means that Bellpost Hill have got a fair bit of work to do. I don't know what cavalry they've got coming back, but
I thought that early, but in the end, if you have a look, Thomson won every quarter, really, even against and with the win. I thought they got better and better as the game's gone on, and I think it is a relatively good look at the way you can. I think they were an 8 or 9 goal better side than Bellpost Hill on the day, Smithy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, in the end
In the finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Bellpost still ran out a bit of steam just after half time, I reckon. A lot of their good players that were involved had stopped, so yes, it's going to be a little bit of a long road, I think, Bellpost Hill. As I said, I'm not too sure what they've got out. That's the big thing we need to find out. Well, how many they've got that can come back into this side. But we know Timmy Barton, you said, it's not going to be for quite some time, but I just can't think of anyone else that's
what worries,
let's go through their list.
What worries me is if Timmy Barton's out for 8, if Bo Mack has to have a couple of weeks off, because as I said, he's not right, all of a sudden their defence opens up a fair bit. But look, as I say, I think they're underdone. They look underdone to me, and it's a long, long season. They came home with a wet sail last year, probably is the only side that may have beaten in the league, and I still think they're a chance to do that. But Thomson, they impressed me today, and on that performance there, I think they've still got a bit to do to be able to be competitive with the top sides. But it's all there. It's all there. Exel, Habgood, what's the other kid's name, the hyphenated name? Reed Meering or something?
Mead Harding.
Mead Harding. All these blokes, Sam Green,
Yeah.
all these blokes didn't play fantastic footy today, but it looks like they've got them in it. I think they've got the improvement, and if they can get that improvement out by rounds 14, 15, look, they could be a danger. They could be a danger. Jacko to come back.
Now they named 5 or 6 of their players from last year. They've still got to come back into the side. So
Look, they need improvement to beat the good sides, but just from what I saw today, that improvement's there.
Yeah.
It's there to be had. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, very impressive. Grubby, you like to be in control of the vote giving. Are you ready yet?
Yeah, I've done mine. I've done mine 10 minutes ago.
Well, I'll go first so you can laugh at me.
Righto.
I enjoy that part.
Righto.
I'm going to give one vote to Zach Plant.
Oh, you're kidding me. Go on, keep going.
Who I thought was particularly good. I'm going to give 2 votes to Daniel Freeman for kicking 5 goals and 3 votes to Brent McLeod, who I thought over the course of the game he's kicked 4 goals and was pretty much the dominant midfielder on the ground. So that are my votes for whatever they're worth.
well, I haven't even done mine.
Oh, sorry, Dale.
That's all right, mate. I haven't even gone down that path.
I had to do something to entertain myself during the last 5 minutes because it was awfully difficult to be entertained by that.
Well, I'll go if you want to.
Yeah, go,
Right.
Robbie.
I've got to find them now. I've written them down somewhere. Here they are. Right, I had 2 blokes on one vote, believe it or not.
You can't do that, can you?
No, you can't. I had Plant, believe it or not. But I had him with the big fella in the ruck, Cam.
And he was my apology.
I thought Cam dropped away in that... Plant dropped away in either the second or the third quarter, whereas Cam, I thought, played 4 quarters of footy. So I'm going to give 1 vote to the big fella in the ruck, Cam. I'm going to give 2 votes to Daniel Freeman because he's asked there to go out and kick goals, and that's what he did. He probably only had 12 possessions, if that. But he's done the job that they've asked him to do and kick the goals. And with 28 possessions and 4 or 5 goals, McLeod easily the best on the ground. Great effort. Great effort.
Yeah, well, I'll go Davis 1, Freeman 2, McLeod 3, and special mention just to the young kid from Bellpost Hill. I thought did a good job. That young kid, Josh Andrews. I don't know where, as I said, from St Mary's.
Yeah, he was good.
He looks okay, and obviously the captain battled hard all day.
Well, I think you're right. I think you're right because if I had to, I've gone Cam against Plant, and if I had to throw somebody else in, it would have been Josh Davis, especially for his early work.
That is the first time we've been remotely close to each other.
It doesn't happen very often, but I tell you what...
Hopefully that's a trend for the year.
It's only early.
Yeah. Well, look, they're the votes, but we've left a lot of blokes out. Right? Because we have to, because you can only have 3 or 4. So, for Bellpost Hill, look, it was so hard to find them. But I tick them by the quarter. I had Matty James with 3. His last quarter wasn't that great. Chris Danielle with 3 I thought was okay. Josh Andrews 3 was okay, and I had Benny Muir at 2 quarters. They're about the only blokes I could find from Bellpost. I had Mitch Sheedy on 3 votes. I had Freeman on 4, we've mentioned, and Cam on 4, and McLeod on 4. I said Plant, and that's about it there. So, look, and Paul Davis, of course, too. So, yeah, look, they're some of the better players that didn't get votes as well, but, gee, I'll tell you what, yeah, Bellpost Hill struggled, and I hope they can get better. But Thomson, they play well and will get better.
Yeah, I think so, and they've got a proven coach, and I said he's worth a couple of good players, and I think Zach Plant is an interesting, a little bit of a test on this. He was a guy who'd finished, he'd retired basically from senior footy, went back to coach the seconds last year. And here he is, not only putting himself up to play senior footy, but to play it that well. You would suggest that a new coach, new environment has reinvigorated him. And if some of the other players of his ilk around the club, who may have been a bit tired and lost direction over the last couple of years, which is 1 year of not playing, and then last year, which was not a good year for the club, you know, they probably have got a lot more improvement. And, you know, mention those names of players who will definitely be better with more work, and Sam Green and Exel in the forward line are 2 good examples. So if those 2 start firing and become regular goal kickers, and Freeman gets himself fitter, because he is looking like he's carrying a little bit of weight still, and he's probably not back to his absolute fastest. But if he can become average 3 goals a week from a half forward flank, that's real value.
Oh, I tell you where his value is, mate. His value is on St Albans in August, September, if they can make it, and especially if, no matter how they go, if they make it, I can bet you any money that he will kick goals at St Albans in the finals.
He looks to be, he loves space, and if you can get him into it, very, very dangerous.
The only thing I'll say is, I think on a big round like St Albans in finals, I just think, as good as Brent McLeod is, I think he has just to get a little bit fitter. You know, like, I see him come off the ground a few times, like most teams do, but a lot of times, as I said before, when they take McLeod off the ball, they put him down forward, and he's too hard to match up on. But at the moment, he has to come off and have that rest. But I just reckon he needs to get a bit fitter, because, as I say, fit McLeod is the best player on a comp every day of the week.
Just on that St Albans discussion, I don't know if you blokes have had any talk with the league executive, but based on the fact that there's new fantastic facilities at Geelong West, is there any likelihood that GDFL finals might be played out there instead of St Albans?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, because Neville and his committee love St Albans. They've got a great agreement with the St Albans Footy Club. They've been doing it for a lot of years. We used to play the finals at West before we went to St Albans, and that was a pretty good venue without all this new stuff. So I've got no qualms in playing the footy. Matter of fact, I, as a club person, would prefer to play them at West. For the simple fact is, you play 18 rounds on grounds like this, then all of a sudden you come to finals and you get a ground double the size, and it hurts people. You know, it just makes sides not the same size as it is. I remember when we played Corio many, many years ago, Corio used to get on there and go bang, 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 goal. They did it in the grand final. They went bang, bang, bang. Geez, we're 70 metres out still. So it hurts sides that play on small grounds. It helps Belpost Hill because they've got a big ground. But you go and play on West, you keep the same game plan, the same size ground. So in that way, I wouldn't mind playing them at West, but I think Neville and that love, they've got a great agreement with St Albans, and I think that's where it'll be played.
And it might also be not a choice because the GFL may already have West penciled in as...
I had heard that they were going to go and play their finals there. Because have they pulled the bike track up yet, or in process of?
No, it's earmarked, but not yet.
I'll ring you and tell you tonight if I go out there for a while.
Righto.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Speak to Wilco, he'll tell you.
Wilco.
Now we've got to get back to the studio because Steelo wants to get home. He's going to pop on some of his favourite music for you, Grubby, to listen to on your way back to Werribee.
Mate, we finish at 5.
What time is it?
Court 2.
Court 2.
We can't go yet.
Dear, no one can hear us back at the studio. I believe the listeners can hear us out there.
We've got to make a decision on where we're going to go next week too,
well,
don't we?
That's a very good point, gentlemen.
Yeah, but I'll tell
what
you
do you
what.
reckon?
Well, I'll tell you what. I look at the games and I don't really know, to be honest.
Well, it's there is some. I'll tell you what. If it'll depend on how Winch go tomorrow. I know that's a night game. That's no good.
No, we don't go out after dark.
Another night game at Winch. That's no good.
Now we've got one score left to get, and that'll be the Inverleigh-Werribee score. But I'm betting when I spoke about waiting for an ambulance for Brad Carlton, he may well have been still on the ground.
Yeah,
because they were well before East Geelong, and now I haven't got a score.
Based on our desire to get around, the downside is that we'd see Belpost Hill 2 weeks in a row, but a trip to Winter Reserve next week mightn't be such a bad idea. Belmont Lions taking on Belpost Hill. The other alternatives are North Geelong against Inverleigh. Thomson go out to Anakie. East Geelong go up the road to Werribee, or Corio to Bannockburn. There's your options.
We can't go to Bannockburn.
Can't go to
unless
Bannockburn.
I get confirmation
we got Wi-Fi.
that we got Wi-Fi.
Because we had a bit of a...
might have to go up the highway.
Might have to go up the highway.
Well, I'd like to see the final score. Like they're 8 goals down at three-quarter time, Werribee Centrals. If they lose by 12 or 13 goals, we're not going to Werribee because they haven't earned that. Against the side who's kicked, which we haven't set out yet, but a side that's kicked 19-15-129 to Belmont Lions 11-6-72.
Well, that's the case. I'd rather go and watch North Geelong and Inverleigh then. Because we've seen Belpost Hill and we've seen Thomson, and we're not going to go and see Winch on a night game and Bannockburn Corio, but we're not sure about their thingo. So it's either Werribee Central's East Geelong for me, or North Geelong and Thomson. North Geelong and Inverleigh.
Well, you wise old heroes will make that decision. It won't be me.
Just remember, I've got a funny feeling we could see Inverleigh about 5 weeks in the first 7, so I don't want to do that.
Well, we've got Anzac Day coming up.
Yeah, and we don't really want to, like North have gone all right. North have beaten Corio by 40 points. 40-odd points.
Well, Inverleigh and Bannockburn are the week after. We've got the first 2 games, then we've got to buy, then we've got Easter. So
that's on a Sunday, isn't it?
That's on a Monday.
That's on the Monday. That's Anzac Day.
All right, so we'll have 2 games that weekend. Are we doing 2 games that weekend?
Yes.
I can do the Monday. I can't do the Sundays.
Well, gentlemen, we'll let you work it out, but Dave Steele's just having a look. He's been watching the television. He's a bit bored back there, and he says, you're looking very, very handsome today, Grubby. Steelo's picked up.
Jeez, I wish I could answer him on radio and not get banned for 6 months.
Oh dear. So did we learn anything today, or is it very much needing a month to know what these two sides are going to produce for the year, Dale?
Oh, look, to be honest, as I said, it's nice to be able to sit and watch a game of football, but again, I need to see... Looking at their reserve sides today, there's not a lot of depth for either side, but having spoken to a couple of the Thomson boys inside, they've got probably 5 or 6 players that will come back into their side at some stage during the course of the year. That Anderson, remember that Anderson from Ocean Grove or something?
Yes.
He wasn't playing, but he's...
Jard Anderson.
That's him.
Yeah.
He's one. Jackson McLeod. I had a quick look through there. There's 4 or 5 players that can come back in, and obviously a couple of recruits that I haven't even seen yet. Belpost, on the other hand, the only one I can think of at the moment... is Timmy Barton, and I just don't know what else they've got. So I'd like to be able to speak to someone from Belpost Hill to find out where their depth's at and what else they've got to come back through. But Thomson, for me, they've got a good blend of everything now. They've got some height through their game. They've got a ruckman, I think, that really doesn't let them down from what they had last year. Not probably as good, but I think he was pretty good today. And in our competition, he will be okay. He competes well. He jumps hard. So I think he's going to be okay. The big fella that played in the forward line from up the road in Green, I think he will get better. We spoke about Exel. I think he'll probably get better as the year goes on. And the younger blokes all did what they were required to. So, from what I can see, Thomson, I think already they will be one of the sides that will compete in the top 5 without any shadow of a doubt come this the end of the season.
Yeah, they surprised me today. I didn't expect them to produce that, but I knew Lynch was going to make them better. But whether there's enough to build on, from what I saw today, they were okay. But I still think even with today, they're a long way behind Inverleigh, and they're going to need to improve even more. So it was a good start for them. You couldn't ask for a better start. But yeah, based on last year's first round from Belpost Hill, I wouldn't be chucking babies out.
I wouldn't. No, but again,
yet by any means.
You just need to know where they got what they got coming back. Because as I said, with those players that have gone, they haven't covered them off as well as what the Thomson players that they brought in at this stage. I wouldn't think. Well, now, as I said, Timmy Barton 8 weeks down the track, and if there's no one else to come in, and you said if they lose back Bo McNamara, they're in a fair bit of trouble. And I don't know. I haven't had a look at their draw, but again, as I said, I don't know what else they've got sitting back at this stage. So
who else is in a fair bit of trouble?
Who's that?
Inverleigh 16-18 114, Werribee 2-8-20.
So Werribee's in a fair bit of trouble.
That's why I said we're not going out there. People don't listen to me, but they bloody well better start. No, I'm serious. They better start.
Well, that means we're going to North Geelong and Inverleigh, aren't we?
You've been saying that for 18 years, Grubby.
No, I haven't. I've been over there and I've watched it, and I had got in a bit of trouble the other week.
Well, they've lost a bit of quality, and they've got 3 or 4 blokes that are not going to come back till halfway through the season as well. So
well, maybe Brad Carlton could be gone if the next is involved.
Yeah.
And he's their best player.
Yeah.
He won their best and fairest. He's their captain.
So we don't know what...
No.
Let's hope it's nothing serious.
I meant to mention it before the game. You know that where Monica and Nobby sit?
Yep.
The official thing on Friday night, they put the big sign up, a green and gold sign, reserved Monica and Ray Carlton. So, yeah, they were very happy about that. So what do you got? North and Inverleigh, Anarchy versus Thomson.
Well, you wouldn't go and see that.
No. Belmont versus Belpost Hill. We've seen Belpost. Bannockburn versus Corio.
Well, that's our only option, I suppose. If you don't go to North Geelong Inverleigh, because we've already seen Belpost Hill and Belmont Lions would be the next, I would think.
I would have went to Winchelsea and Giants, but it's a 5:30 game. All right, well, we'll have to go to North Geelong versus Inverleigh.
Yep, that's not a bad thing. We'll see how good North are, and it'd be good to get a look at Inverleigh in the year. So there it is. That's a decision. We're going to Magpie Land next Saturday afternoon. Match of the day, North Geelong versus Inverleigh. Put that in your diary, ladies and gentlemen.
And if you're speaking to Hab, tell him to cut those trees back a bit so we can get up high on the hill so we're not looking down like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Grubby, you will no doubt find one of those North Geelong legends to speak to. He spoke to what's his name? Bobby Jones last time we're out there.
Get Sid Jones to wander past with an axe.
Sid Jones. What a delight it was to speak to him and Daryl Bissett in the box there last year. That was just a very good day to be speaking to those old war horses.
I got a lot of text over that. Well,
it was really good.
Matter of fact, the other Hab, Gavin, he listened to it, and I went out to that West that night, and he said, what a great interview. He'd had a few beers, and he kissed me.
Well, there you go. Righto, we've had enough here at the Thomson Oval. They have won 116-59 against Belpost Hill in, you'd expect a round 1 game that wasn't pretty. It had moments of goodness. We saw Brent McLeod at his very best and Daniel Freeman returning to kick 5 goals, the real highlights for the game. Both sides have work to do, and we'll definitely see more of them through the year. I will talk to you on Monday morning at 9 o'clock on Front Page on 94.7 The Pulse, and Tuesday I'll be back next Saturday morning with the Two Blokes Chatting radio show. So we'll be joining you at 1:15.
Front Page, so your listener will be available?
Yes, apparently. He will, or she will, I'm not quite sure which one it is. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
The launch. Yep, a great launch on Wednesday night, and we finally got a really good MC.
That is excellent. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. You have been listening to 94.7 The Pulse Country Football, and we'll be back next Saturday. David Steele, over to you in the studio, and thank you for your assistance back there today under a fair bit of duress.
He's the one that pushed all the wrong buttons and wrecked the internet.